Good morning. Welcome to the 2025 European Rowing Beach Sprint Championships, coming to you live from Antalya, Turkey. My name is Niamh Hayes and I am joined by Martin Cross. It is finals day, Martin.
We're here at last. The final day. We're here at last, the final day of competition at these European Rowing Championships. Beach sprints today, lots of excitement, different conditions to the heats yesterday as well.
Yeah, it's cloudier, it's a little bit cooler. We have 18 degrees, but the wind, it is a northeast and it is a little bit heavier today. We're looking at 18 kilometers an hour right now. So the winds will be giving the athletes a little bit of a push on the way out to the turning markers, and then they're going to be up against it on the way home. So we have a very exciting day ahead of us. We'll be getting going within the next few minutes. We'll be starting off with the last 16 of the Coastal Under-19 Mixed Double Sculls. So we'll go through 8 knockout rounds there. Then we'll be moving on to the Coastal Mixed Double Sculls. And then it's the last 8. So we go through all of the categories, and we'll be bringing you all the action right through to the final A. And we'll be crowning our champions and our medalists.
Yeah. And it's interesting today because we've got a sort of relatively fierce offshore breeze coming from the north. There will be more boat handlers in the water, we've heard.
Yes, absolutely. So yesterday it was required to have 2 boat handlers, 1 man, 1 woman, whereas today now the jury have decided that because the conditions are a little trickier, that it is a requirement to have 3 boat handlers, which will, it'll make a difference. The athletes will get an extra little bit of help. It'll allow them to get an extra little bit of a boost and a push off the beach.
Yeah, and we saw some of the competitors just stroll down by the ocean here and look out at the course and just see what they thought. It's a tailwind right out this morning, and then a fierce wind. They're really going to have to battle, and endurance is going to be sorely tested on that run into the beach.
Absolutely, yeah. While there's no big breakers, it will make for pretty clean entries and exits, but it's going to be the rowing technique is what we're going to see. Things will change compared to yesterday, where it was very flat and very calm for the athletes. So we're having a look here. You can see some of the athletes starting to line up. We'll be getting going with the under-19 mixed double sculls. So we have 1 female athlete and 1 male athlete. This time in lane 2. So here we're seeing the athlete from Lithuania.
Yeah, Guda Spinkaite. And she's going head-to-head on the beach sprint. Well, head-to-head for the whole competition because they're both racing on the water. She is going head-to-head with the Turkish female athlete, Kaysa Bratushniak. Sorry, that's the Ukrainian athlete. What am I saying? Eftan Sezgin. Sorry, Eftan, getting your name wrong there. But the thing around this is this Turkey crew, the boat's going in the water, so we're just a minute or so from the start. This Turkish crew posted an incredible time that was, the nearest crew to them was in fact Austria.
Yeah, they posted an incredible time yesterday through the time trials. So what we're seeing here now, the boat handlers were given the announcement to put the boats in the water. So you can see 2 boat handlers either side of the boat and then 1 at the stern ready to give that boost off. So the athletes will be given the command to get ready shortly. Then they're going to make their way down the beach. Here we go. And then they'll look for a clean entry and where they'll meet their partner and row out as hard as they can.
And we're off on the first race on finals day today. It's a clean start, and the question is, will that Turkey crew be as quick as they were yesterday?
Yeah, big start, big early. A few strokes pulled there from Turkey. Here they are on our screen, staying up very tall. Great run there by Efnan down the beach as they powered up, staying up very tall at the catch and at the finish. And here they go, big lead already.
Oh, and then a little bit of a problem there for Lithuania. I think the bowwoman of Lithuania, or the bowman Emitas Kleinskauskas, just 15 years of age, had problems with their seat. It kind of jammed, and you can see the difference that it's made there.
Yeah, great navigation though here by Turkey. They're on the right-hand side of your screen there after opening up a big lead. Lithuania there just slamming the blades off that middle finger marker, probably slowing them down a little bit. Now this is a knockout round, so whoever wins goes straight through. The other crew will be eliminated. Here we are at the turn.
Yeah, nice hold up there on their stroke side blades, the port side blades. That's a pretty quick turn from Turkey. They're never going to be as quick as that 2 minutes 30 that they posted yesterday, just because they get battling into this really strong headwind now.
Yeah, the gusts are pretty heavy here today, so they're going to have to change technique slightly. They're focusing on the big long lie backs here now to try and propel the boat through the water. So on the course, on the way back now, they can just go straight. And they're actually both crews really good on their navigation this morning. We saw a lot of kind of tricky navigation going on, or challenging navigation going on yesterday, but this is really lovely from the Turkey crew.
Yeah, and I think confirming the form that they showed yesterday, one of the favourites here to take the title later on this afternoon, no doubt about that. And they have shown why. Lithuania, that upset off the start. But there is the back of Ali Oz, and he will be doing the beach sprint in.
Yeah, this is pretty perfect placement now. So as you can see, they're going to land the bow straight up onto the beach, and then they have a blue flag, you'll see, kind of halfway up that beach that they have to run around. If they miss that, there is a penalty. So here he comes. Nice little jump here. He's going to give it his all. He doesn't even look over. He just focuses on his own race. Here he comes, Ali Oz, going to take the win. First knockout, Coastal Under-19 mixed double sculls. They go straight through to the next round. And here come Lithuania.
And I want to say that was quite a quick time, actually. I haven't got it in front of me yet at the moment, but we'll wait and see till we get Lithuania. But I think that was pretty close to 2:30 that they posted yesterday,
yeah,
in
for
that
the win
time trial. Yeah, a little longer course with the time trial because they had to row across, so they should be quicker, but it's an interesting gauge given that very strong headwind. 2:33, so another very quick time from Turkey, and they've set the measure for this fierce headwind. Okay, next up we have Austria and Ukraine, and Austria posted that second quickest time yesterday, and with all these events you get the quickest time from the time trial against relatively the slowest time. So Ratushniak there, she qualified with her partner Burian from the second time trial, and she came in at the back of that time trial, so they're facing the second quickest from Austria. And you saw there Caroline Schweindiger and Nick Rodemeyer waiting in the boat. So the female athletes chosen to do the first run here, and the male athletes sitting in the bow seat will be completing the run-up to the beach.
Yeah, so command has been given to put the boats in the water. So the person who is sitting in the bow, the athlete that's sitting in the bow, they stand out of the boat. You'll see them there standing to the side. And when the buzzer goes, when the lights turn green, not only does the strokes person have to run down the beach, but the bow person has to jump in and get themselves set and be ready to go.
10 seconds difference between these crews in the time trial. Austria, 10 seconds to the better, ahead of Ukraine.
Here we go. Austria versus Ukraine. Getting to the water first. Just Austria, just slightly, but oh, a little tumble there from Ukraine. Who'll pull the first stroke? Bit of a wobble there from Ukraine.
Yeah, I think the Austrians have got off really speedily. Ukraine a little bit off course. They're the crew on the left as our drone is looking at. The Austrians are on the right, powering away. They already have half a length. And Rodemeyer and Schweinwendiger looking good so far. And a lap upset from the Ukrainian crew. What has happened to them? The steering has gone all over the place. They had to stop rowing, maybe a seat jam or a seat malfunction. And we've seen that now. I wonder if that's the conditions causing these upsets.
Yeah, the wind isn't coming straight down the course at all from the beach. It's actually coming a little bit sideways, so they're having to contend with that little bit of a sideways wind, and then the navigation just became a little tricky for them there, but they're back in it. But here we can see Austria hugging the buoy here as they come around it. Nice turn. Let's see how they come out of it. They're making sure they're straight. And here they go, Ukraine just going in.
And the advantage of going flat out all the way is that you get a better draw in the next round if you go through to the next round. Austria off course, heading to the left of the beach. They have to correct, and their handlers are shouting. Ukraine in the centre too. What's going on there, Niamh?
Yeah, Ukraine just started pulling a few strokes too soon, and now they're gone right over into Austria's lane. They're okay where they are as long as they don't create or cause a collision. They're after recorrecting themselves now. You can see the bowman looking over his shoulder, and they're coming right over. So they're after adding a lot of meters to themselves here. So Austria definitely on the better course now on the way home. They don't want to be pushed too far onto those markers. But yeah, Ukraine looking like they're having a lot of steering difficulties.
So it really does help the Austrians to blast into the beach, get that good time and a great draw for the next round, the quarterfinals, which it looks like they're headed towards Ukraine on the run into the beach, but Austria have got that vital margin. Nick Rodemeyer looks around and off he comes.
Yeah, one of the few athletes to jump out of the left-hand side of the boat there, round that flag. Here he comes, not putting himself under too much pressure to get to the finish line, but Austria booking their spot into the quarterfinals. Ukraine there did well to get back into this. Nice sprint here from Burian, but they're unlucky to be eliminated now.
Big hug, great camaraderie here down on the beach between all these athletes. We'll have a look at the Austrian time, and it is 2:39, significantly slower than Turkey. Again, they posted the fastest time, setting themselves up as potential favourites for this beach sprint crown.
So next up, knockout 3. This time it is Spain versus individual neutral athlete 1. We've just over 1 minute to go to the start of this.
So Spain, the third quickest time in the time trial, 2:34, 4 seconds slower than Turkey. So really, I think you'd feel confident if you were Elia Horda Clement, stood there, 17-year-old. But the neutral athletes have come good here as the rounds have progressed, and Victoria Halasok, again 17, will be really focused on those long strokes we see from the neutral athletes.
Yeah, and it will suit them well as they come back up against that wind now on the way home. If you're, we're here on the beach ourselves and we're looking out, you can see the gusts as they push out. So they'll fly down to the turning marker, but then it's a lot of hard work on the way home. So boat handlers, you can see the 3 boat handlers wearing the pink bibs here. So they're going to be holding the boat straight, and then you can see the bow rower standing in the water. So that's a challenge in itself because it's actually quite deep here. I was in the water myself yesterday and it's quite deep here. So here we go. Red lights on, green lights gone. Here we go. Very evenly matched now as they head down the beach.
And the bow man in this case can jump into the boat as soon as the buzzer goes. He has to wait outside. Spain just trying to get together, but it is a disastrous start for the neutral athletes. Their blades are caught, their boat's caught, they are sat there on the bank. It's the seat. These seats are causing so many problems.
Yeah, seat was completely jammed. They have probably 10-15 seconds lost there now. That's a big loss. They were already probably at a disadvantage with Spain being much faster than them yesterday through the time trials. So this is pretty much disaster here for individual neutral athletes. Spain now, I'm wondering if they'll start to realise what's happening and ease off. But as you said, Martin, they want to be able to clock a pretty quick time. So Spain here, looking like they're pretty at their ease. Nice long lie back that we see from the coastal rowers from Spain as they head towards that turning marker.
Yeah, I mean, it really is a training exercise, except the time does matter for later rounds. So Spain positioned nicely. I mean, technically, that's a great turn that they're about to execute, holding the blades up before they get to that yellow buoy. And that's a super turn, isn't it?
Incredible turn, yeah. You saw with their right hands there, they were just backing, keeping that hand up nice and high, and then pulling short, snappy strokes around. And they can now take their time to make sure that they are straight. Slight angle over to the left as we look out to them, but that seems to be happening most crews as they go around that turn. But here come individual neutral athletes. A bit slower on that turn, just a little bit out of time on that left-hand blade.
Yeah, the focus really, if you're behind, is try and make up time, and you know you can go off on one and forget that you've got to be synced up. But it will be the Spanish runner, the bowman Javier Torres Montoro, 17-year-old. You can see him there on the right of shot with the white blade. Don't know why he hasn't got a Spanish blade, but there we go.
Really steady with their stroke rate here. So I'm not sure if they got the memo about clocking a good time for the later rounds, but maybe they're just focusing on conserving that energy for later on, because there's a lot of racing back-to-back coming up later on.
I guess there is, you know, a trade-off. Like, do you go flat out to get that good time, produce all that lactate acid, which your muscles, you know, make your muscles ache, or do you just go to conserve energy? And Torres is going to conserve energy, isn't he?
Yeah, he's absolutely opting for that. You can see just about lifting the knees off up high. The feet are just about coming off the ground. Hitting that buzzer with his foot. Doesn't even dive for it.
No, well, he hit it with the first foot and it didn't work, so then he hit it with the second foot. So that'll be a slow time for the Spanish, but they are through to the quarterfinals. He waits very sportingly to applaud the neutral athlete Jaroslav Prechikevich, who is so frustrated. He walks off in disgust at that accident. These athletes share the boats, and you know there must be enough now for the athletes to check that sliding seat. Is it the way the athlete puts themselves onto the seat? So if they do it too forcefully, then the seat comes off its runners and jams.
Absolutely. There's a few things. Number one, if there's big breakers, oftentimes if the bow goes up in the air and comes back down, the seat can come off the rails. Obviously that's not the case today, but yes, it depends on where his hand was, and as he was jumping in, if his hand slipped, he could have pushed the seat off those rails very easily. So moving on to knockout number 4, this time it is a battle between Hungary and Poland.
Yeah, the Hungarian Yankademko, they posted the 4th fastest time in yesterday's time trial. So they get lane choice, and she is up against the Polish athlete Anna Kusmida. They're 16 years of age, as is her partner Antony Borusevich, and we're hoping that the slower crew actually doesn't suffer any mishaps, because the races have all been pretty much done and dusted off the beach so far, the first 3 races.
We have indeed. I know, like usually in the earlier rounds, there is a bit of distance between these crews, and it will get closer and closer as the time goes on. But I reckon there'll be a good old race here between Hungary and Poland as they crouch down ready to go.
So round the flag for Hungary. That's not the quickest route to the boat. She could have run straight out. The Polish athlete is pretty much straight in the boat, and a great start there from Poland. Antonio Brosewicz, the bowman, doesn't look like he's got seat trouble, and at the moment it's advantage to the Poles off the beach.
Yeah, absolutely. Athletes are forgetting they can run straight down the beach. They're still going around those flags, which they do not have to do it today, just on the way up, and that costs them like that split second. Now they have gotten themselves in the lead here now, which is pretty impressive, ahead of Poland. They're coming down towards that middle finger marker here. Little navigation, I would say Poland are going wide around that middle marker just to make sure they clear it, but yes, advantage to Hungary now as they pass that middle marker.
Yeah, but they've still got the overlap, Poland, haven't they? And there's the long run into the beach. They're going out with the offshore breeze now, so it's behind them and blowing them along to the marker, and the Hungarian team taking a really wide berth out to that final buoy, and they're just... You can see them going on their left-hand scull. Not the quickest turn from the Hungarians, or the tightest turn, but the Poles too haven't really matched them on the turn.
Lovely navigation around the turn there for Hungary. They took that second to pull that extra stroke, get their bow nice and straight, and they're heading for the beach. Starting to veer over, but the way the wind direction is, it's northeasterly, so it will help to push the bow back on course a little bit for them. So maybe they're opting to get a little bit of a help from the wind, but now they're up against it. So it's all about the power here now on the way home.
So it's Martin Mazzozi and Janka Demko from Team Hungary on the right of your picture, that blue boat with the yellow flash on the front of it, and they have kept that lead even in this strong offshore wind. They're battling into the headwind. Look round there from Martin Mazzozi, the 17-year-old, just to see where they are on the beach. They need to come a little bit closer to this right-hand side.
Yeah, maybe overcorrecting now. They're going to come in a little sideways. So let's see which side of the boat. If he goes for the left, it would suit him better. But I think he's going to go right, looking over the right shoulder. Now he's going to have to go back on himself a little bit to make sure he gets around the flag. But this was a great comeback from Poland. Poland are flying up the beach.
Amazing sprint from the Polish athlete there. Borusewicz just couldn't make it. But that really was, I was really handing that race to Team Hungary, but it just shows you they run around the flag. Do they know the rules here? Well, they had to run around the flag on the way out. Oh, they didn't have to run around the flag on the way out, but exactly. They did on the way back. But that was the closest race we've seen today, 2:37.
That was one of the faster times.
Yeah, still Turkey have set the fastest time here.
So now the racing's starting to get exciting here. Knockout number 5 coming up this time. It is going to be Great Britain versus Portugal.
Yeah, Great Britain versus Portugal. So Britain posted the 5th fastest time in the time trials yesterday, and they have chosen and opted to go for this left-hand side of the course. And you can see the British athlete there, Liv Hodgson, the 18-year-old. And there is Araujo, her Portuguese opponent, Rita Araujo. Just 15 years of age, 3 years difference between these athletes. Araujo looks pretty relaxed.
She does. She's staying nice and loose in the upper body there. The boat handlers placing the boats in the water. Still 3 boat handlers required here. Even though to the camera it looks very, very flat here.
It's not because of the wind. The wind is offshore wind is kind of gusting around. We're expecting gusts of up to 6 or 7 meters a second, and some of the, I guess the advertising hoardings have kind of been blown over or laid down just to stop the wind blowing them over.
Yeah, so 2 different approaches here to the start of the sprint. Portugal right down, hand on the sand. Olivia Hodgson then opting to stay a little bit taller. Here we go.
Really quick start from Portuguese athlete, and her teammate is in the boat, but it's the British athlete with the quicker entry to the boat, and they go off first.
Yeah, first stroke pull there by Great Britain for sure, and they are flying off the blocks here, heading out towards the first marker. Looked like Denis Oliveira of Portugal just took his little bit of time to get on the seat just to make sure it was correctly on the rails. Are they going to go the wrong side of that? No, looks to me that the bow was just heading to the wrong side, but they both got to the correct side of the slalom buoy. Now they're heading out to the middle of the course.
See Tom Biddle there, he really set off powerfully towards the back end of the stroke. Such a strong finish. He's looking round now. They are on the left-hand side of that middle buoy as both crews pass it safely. Just from the drone shot, it looks like Team Portugal, have moved back a little bit on the British.
Yeah, definitely rating nice and high here with the wind, trying to get up. The wind, the direction it is pushing the boats here past the markers. So if they can hug it quite tight, they'll give themselves an extra advantage. Lovely turn there by Great Britain.
Yeah, that's a great spot, actually. That's what the offshore breeze is doing. And you kind of need to time your turn before you get to that yellow buoy, because you will be pushed past it. But Great Britain looking smooth, fluid, synced up together. They can look back at Portugal if they care. I'm not sure they will be anything but focused, though.
Yeah, big long lie back there from Great Britain. They're really focusing on that second half of the stroke, pushing hard with the legs and leaning back into that wind, propelling the boat as much as they can. Now they're coming into the centre of the course, as you can see. Thomas Biddle there looking over the shoulders. Now both crews in the middle of the course.
Yeah. Portugal on the left, Britain on the right. The handlers from the British team are saying, you know, as we're looking at it, go right, go right. It's their left. They are just hearing it now. And Biddle looking round. He is going to have to do a little sprint to his left and go around the flag.
That was an early exit from him there. He jumped into the water a little too soon, I would say. Stopped rowing. He could have pulled another 1 or 2 strokes there and got himself into shallower water. But here they come. Thomas Biddle, Olivia Hutchinson of Great Britain booking their place into the quarterfinals.
So Great Britain through at the expense of Portugal, and Denis Oliveira crossing the finish line. A little embrace from Biddle there towards his opponent. White flag for the race, and we will get the times very shortly. I think Britain can pick up on the turn there, and clearly on their navigation. 2:34, that is a very quick time, second quickest time of the day, just 1 second slower than the favourites from Turkey.
Yeah, I think if Great Britain take the time and pull those extra couple of strokes at the finish there and jump out into shallower water onto the sand, they'll just get a better acceleration on that sprint up the beach. So we're moving on to knockout number 6. This time it is Czechia versus Switzerland.
Yeah, we just saw the young Czechia athlete Katarina Novotná, just 17 years of age. Reminder, this is under 19 mixed doubles beach sprints. Her partner Adam Peru in the boat, and she is up against male athlete chosen to do the sprint. The female Swiss athlete will have to do the sprint back. So Gabby Haas, 18 years of age, and he will be sprinting down to Liv Lunique, the 17-year-old waiting in the boat.
Yeah, so this is the first time that we're seeing a male athlete sprint down here this morning. So that means he'll be stroking the boat. So I'm wondering, will the weight difference make a difference in these conditions with the heavier athlete being in the stroke seat this time?
Yeah, do you want to say a bit more about that, Neve?
Yeah, it depends on kind of the conditions, and I'm wondering if they read the conditions and the wind, and we're down here early, and so it's going to give them a little bit of an advantage as they head down into with the wind. You know, they're going to have the speed in the boat, but then I'm wondering on the way back, would it have been more of an advantage to have a bit of weight in the bow? But let's see how they do.
That was a quick start off the blocks from the Swiss athlete, and his opponent from Czechia just delayed a little bit, but she's into the boat very fast, and pretty even push-off from both teams.
That was a very even start from both teams. Definitely Switzerland, a bit of a faster run, and it was great to see the bow woman there. The way she jumped in, she was sitting with her back to the boat and propelled herself up into it and sat on her seat pretty much straight away. But as they head out towards that past that first marker now, quite even. Let's see if the weight distribution makes a difference. Switzerland starting to edge away ever so slightly, keeping that rate up nice and high.
Yeah, it's all going to come to the turn. You know, if they hit it right, say if the Czechia crew starts turning early and gets tight on that buoy, doesn't drift past it as we've seen some of the teams do, you know, it's game on.
Exactly, and today they probably can afford to start pulling a little bit earlier because the direction that the wind is. Once they come out of that turn, the wind is going to help the bow to turn around. So here we come into that turning buoy. Switzerland just ahead, but they're flying past it.
Yeah, they're flying, and the Czechia crew have flown past it too. And really what we're seeing is that you can turn quicker, but it's not like it was yesterday where we had a different breeze, an onshore breeze that was blowing them onto that yellow buoy. The offshore breeze is blowing them off, but it is advantage Switzerland now. So what can Team Czechia do on the run-in?
So yeah, we know Czechia athletes are quite strong. Definitely going by the navigation right now, Czechia have the straighter line in to the beach. I think Switzerland may be over navigating. They're going to hit their blades there. Oh, that just slowed them
stopped
down.
And that's let Czechia back in.
Yeah.
So both crews pretty much level as we head into the beach. And I do think the Swiss athlete in the stroke seat, Gabi Haas, is tiring a little bit. He's so strong, but you can see him there. Little bit upper body, not quite smooth and fluid as he was on the way out.
Yeah, and you can see there the stern, that extra weight in the stern is causing that bow to sit out of the water quite a bit compared to the Czechia boat. So the sprint is going to come down to Olivia for Switzerland, Adam for Czechia. Who's going to get there? They're going to have to straighten up. Definitely Czechia maybe have a better line coming in.
They do. Liv is looking round. She's going to have to be very quick out the boat. It is the Swiss, and Liv is out the boat. And Adam is out the boat, and Livia is just running round the boat. She's going to make it, but Adam's looking, thinks he can make it, but realises he can't. Liv just makes it for Switzerland, and Adam falls exhausted on the shore. Well, we had a close race there, didn't we?
We did. One of the closer races so far today. Great race there from Switzerland. A little bit of a mistake hitting those blades off those finger points on the way home. Did slow them down, but here they are making their way in, and that's a pretty quick time, Martin.
2:32.85 is the quickest time of the day so far, and I wonder if that's because that has been the closest race that we've seen so far today, Niamh.
Yeah, and interesting because of the setup as well. It was the first time we saw the man in the stroke seat.
Yeah, different tactics here.
So we're moving quickly on. We have two more knockouts in the Coastal Under-19 mixed double sculls. This time it is going to be... There's actually a slight delay, it looks like, because the athletes who are starting off aren't at the start line yet.
Well, I could see the female German athlete, Anna Kosecki, 17-year-old, and she will be sprinting down, and she's going head-to-head against Croatia. It looks like the male Croatian athlete will be doing the sprint down, Beppe Brate, 18 years of age.
So here we go. Command to put the boats in the water. So athletes taking their time here to line up. A little bit of a dance there from Croatia. So I'm not sure if they realise that the command has been given to put the boats in the water.
Yeah,
they're taking their time.
They are. They've been remarkably cool about it.
Very cool.
Little nod from Kosecki to her Croatian opponent there on the sprint, Brate.
Yeah, so here we're seeing some athletes creating little holes for themselves in the sand at the start line to be able to put their back foot into it. It kind of creates this little bit of a ramp effect.
Yeah, it's almost like the sprinters in that film Chariots of Fire with the Paris Olympics in the 20s, where they dug out their start holes with a little trowel.
It's a nice position here from Croatia. Very strong starting position. Let's see if it helps. He is gone. It is Croatia versus Germany in this next knockout. Even on the sprint, Martin.
Yeah, very even on the sprint. And the German boat is going to be powered by Anna Kosecki and Miklas Scheer, who won that gold medal in track eye in the quadruple scull, the 18-year-old. But Croatia off first. You can see on the far side all that power in the German boat. They're going to have to make use of it. But I think in this tailwind it's difficult for the trailing boat to catch up. But you can see them just making centimetre by centimetre. Germany on the left, Croatia on the right. And they are nearly at the mid-course buoy. The turn's going to be crucial. I wonder if their coach is going to say, you've got to judge your turn. You've got to turn earlier so as not to get blown away from it.
Yeah, this is a huge part of the job of the team manager and the boat handlers, is to know this and to know that they're going to be pushed off the turning marker if they don't start backing with that right oar pretty early on. So yes, it is Germany and Croatia here. Germany.
That's a good turn. Croatia have gone way past it. Yeah. And, you know, the power of Miklas Scheer now, that gold medalist in the flat water event, should be enough to see Germany on the left of your picture through to a qualification here. Croatia just got blown past on the buoy, and their navigation is definitely off there, Neve.
Yeah, Germany did brilliant. If you saw, they really dug most of the oar, most of the blade and the shaft into that water around that turn, and it helped to propel the boat really fast around that marker. They have a nice lead now going past that middle marker here. Good navigation now by both of them, maybe both of them edging over to the right a little bit as we look down the beach here, but starting to straighten up. This is great here from Germany, looking very strong up against that wind.
Yeah, it's interesting what Anna Kosecki is doing. She kind of throws her head back a little bit as the Germans hit that buoy. Kosecki battles through it. Well done to her, the oarswoman who started rowing because her mum wanted her to try it. And Germany move into the beach with a pretty healthy lead. And it will be Miklas to jump out the boat.
Yeah, perfect landing there. He was able to just step out of the boat here, out of his right-hand side. Nice sprint here. He has a quick look over at Croatia, but he has done enough. That is Germany booking their place into the quarterfinals. Croatia doing all they can, but game over.
Franke Bock there, and the two athletes congratulate each other. Franke just wipes the sand off her hands. So it is Germany to go through. I think we had a white flag for that race, so we should see the times imminently. 2:35 for Germany. So 2:32, the quickest time that we've seen so far, which is from Switzerland, and Turkey also set a very fast time. This race should be close.
This race should be close. Yeah, their times from earlier would have been probably the closest. So we have final knockout, and it is France versus Italy. So again, we're seeing a male and female athlete up on the start line, so they all have different tactics here. For France here on our screen, Eliza Guilloton, and she'll be joined by Archibald Culpin, who we know is a very fast sprinter from yesterday. Yeah,
the Italians rock it off, don't they?
The Italians certainly do, yeah. Fast on the beach. We have Pasquale Tamburino. He'll be jumping in that stroke seat and joining Silvia Messina.
Yeah, she's only 15. His partner in the mixed double. And the French team, well, Eliza's 16 and Archibald Culpin, an 18-year-old. This is the under-19 mixed doubles event. It's the first knockout round in that event. We've seen time trials yesterday. The last 16 are to choose the 8 quarter-finalists. So the French woman was off quickest there. Eliza Guillotin got out of the blocks, but it's the Italian into the boat first. He's made the time up, and fantastic takeoff from the Italians. French have got a lot to do now. Look round from the French bowman, Archibald Coulpin, just to see where he is on the course.
Italians had 4 strokes pulled before the French even got off the blocks here, so they have a big advantage already gone around. They're flying past that first marker, making their way to the left of the next one. They're actually going very wide, though. You can see the boat handlers whistling, doing a lot of hand signals here.
Yeah, they're pointing the other way. If they're looking, I mean, this is going to be a big pull round for Italy, and I think this will let the French back into the race. That navigation problem that the Italians had, you can't really tell where you are. If you just blast off, you've got to keep your wits about you. So how close will they turn to this buoy?
Let's see. I know the Italians will have practiced their turns a lot. They could have backed maybe a little bit sooner, but they're staying close to it. The French going much wider now, their bow going away. Again, that wind pushing them, so better turn here from Italy, no doubt.
I just wonder if the seniors are going to get closer to the boys than the juniors
I think they will, yeah. Particularly the Italians and the Spanish, I think they'll be, and Great Britain, they've practiced a lot on their turns. But yes, that turn here now, Italy flying here, they have the advantage. And again, I'm interested about the weight distribution. We have the male athlete in the stern of the boat, female in the bow, serving them well now as they go through that wind.
Why should that make a difference, Neve?
I would have said the other way around would have helped.
Yeah,
a little
heavier
bit
in the bows to keep the bows.
But we're noticing any crew that has a woman in the stern has won, or in the bow has won so far.
Yeah. So there we go, Italy heading towards us from our commentary position on the beach. Boat handlers shouting, screaming at the Italians just to come a little bit towards their left. And there you see, yeah, she's just looked round, Sylvia, hasn't she?
She has, yeah, just making sure she's set up. We know they have quick exits and runs up the beach here, so she looks over her shoulder again, stopping rowing, jumping out maybe a little early. She could have waited another split second, but nice big sprint, high knees here. That's a great sprint for Italy.
Yeah, and Sylvia comes up to hit the buzzer. That's our last qualifier. Sylvia Messina, 15 years of age, did a great job on the sprint. And her French competitor, she waits for Archie Coulpin.
Great sprint there by Archibald Coulpin, but unlucky to be eliminated. So that is Italy booking their place into the quarterfinals.
So 2:33 as well, that time, despite the navigation issues that the Italians had. If they can sort that out, they are extremely competitive for the podium places.
I think it's a great position to be in when you've won a race like that and made maybe a little bit of a mistake, because it allows you to learn from it and change later on, because conditions are going to be similar, if not a little bit heavier on the wind later on. So now they can learn from that mistake and not make it later on. So next up, we're moving on to the coastal mixed double sculls. And this is the first of 8 knockouts, and it is the turn of Romania versus Lithuania.
Just measuring the angle there, one of the judges, the distance between the buzzers from that start line. So the Lithuanian team were the fastest, Yankionis and Kazlukaite. We can see Kazlukaite there. Well, actually we can't. We're looking at Dinilescu, Maria Dinilescu. She is the partner of the man waiting in the boat, Mihai Chiruta. Great single sculler, Chiruta. Was in the Paris Olympics, won the B final at the Worlds recently. And they're both an item, these Romanians, but just squeaked into this by being the last qualifier in the second time trial. So Lithuania, you'll see they are so powerful at the back end of the stroke. Norbert's Dulbinskis, the 27-year-old who's coming back after injury, he is just one power pack guy. Boat's yet to go in the water.
Yeah, looks like the slight little delay was due to go off at 9:40, so it'll just be a minute or two. Command just given, so 1 minute to go to the start here.
And we're sorry if you are experiencing any issues with the audio. We're on it, and we will be fixing any issues shortly. Just stay with us for the fun and excitement.
What you'll notice now is the boats have changed. So now for the mixed double sculls, it is the Filippi boats that we're using. It was the Kangua in the under-19s. So Filippi now for this.
Kaite blasts off. I think she's definitely the quickest there. Wow, look at the difference in the athlete. She jumps in, and Lithuania are going to get 4 strokes in, 5 strokes before Romania even get a start off the beach.
Oh, that was unbelievable. What a quick start on the run. On the entry was just on point. It was unbelievable. It's allowed them to get a good advantage now already. Romania just struggling with catching their oars as they jumped in, but here they go, and I'm sure the power from Romania will help them now on the way down.
Yeah. Beautiful back end of the stroke from the Lithuanians, taking them round. Romania, they know they've got so much to do, both experienced international flatwater athletes, but those issues at the start really did for them. And Lithuania, the quickest crew in the time trial, just confirming that. Let's see what they do on the buoy at the top.
Yeah, big difference here as they head towards that turning point. Let's see, yeah, Lithuania backing early there. They're still even being pushed past it, even though with that back early. But great here, short stabs here on the left-hand side, and they are around, and they're going. I mean, they don't even look around to see if they're straight or not. They just go for it.
Yeah, and they're not quite straight, so they'll be pulling hard on that left blade, their left blade. And a healthy lead over the Romanian duo.
So yeah, just having a quick look around now just to make sure they have a pretty decent course. Again, the wind direction will be helping them and will push their bow in towards the course slightly, but they're in a pretty good position now heading back towards the beach. Romania, on the other hand, they're heading right over towards Lithuania's lane.
Yeah, Lithuania with that back-ended stroke, really an advantage in these strong offshore winds coming into the headwind towards the beach. The fastest crew in the time trial, showing why they posted that quick time.
Yeah, Lithuania's senior beach sprint team is pretty impressive, and looking forward to seeing them in the solos as well later on. But this is a perfect exit here, perfect landing into the beach from Lithuania. Nice quick jump, and here he comes. Big sprint here from Jankionis.
Yeah, Demikias there. So much in control the Lithuanians were of that race. As Romania hit the beach now, and Chiruta, Mihai Chiruta, this is his last participation in this event. Back home to Romania on Monday, and then 3 squad weddings to attend.
Are you invited to these weddings?
I feel I should be. Yeah, I have talked about them a lot, haven't I?
You have.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
We'll just wait for official time there. So 2:28.07. So let's see, that was the first of the times. We'll see what they compare like with the later knockouts. This is knockout number 2. We have individual neutral athlete versus Italy.
Yeah, and we've seen how quick the Italian Fred Cesarino sprints off the beach. We saw him yesterday, they were second quickest, and he's partnered by an Olympic champion, no less, Federica Cesarini, waiting in the boat. Won that title back in Tokyo with Valentino Redini. Just 1400ths of a second separated them and the French. And he's up against the neutral athletes, Ivan Brizna and Chris Motuz, waiting in the boat for the neutral athlete.
So look at the different starting positions here. Italy much closer to the ground. Head is down. He's just focusing on getting those knees up. Big sprint here from Italy. They just get to the water just ahead of individual neutral athletes who can get off. Yes, Italy get the push on first.
They were very relaxed the way he got in the boat. There was no hurry, no hassle. Just get in the boat, sit on the seat comfortably, and they are pulling off the beach. Ceccarino and Cesarini have got that 1 length lead. And high stroke rate too.
Huge stroke rate here compared to individual neutral athletes who are taking it much more reserved here. They're at risk now of missing that middle marker, just being pushed over there now. They're going to hit their shafts, I would say. That's going to slow them down, slow their rhythm slightly, but got around the right side of it here. Now, of course, the rules have changed, and if you don't go the right side of those, it's game over, disqualification.
Yeah, elimination, but it will be game over for the neutral athletes if they don't get a shift on here. The Italian team round the buoy, not blowing past it much, but the neutral athletes, you can see they've gone about 4 or 5 meters past it compared to the Italian team. So advantage everywhere for the Italians.
Yeah, you can see the Italians working hard on the left-hand side there with the left hand, the left foot, just making sure that they straighten up, and they are individual neutral athletes not too far behind them after that big wide turn. Italy starting to edge inwards.
I don't know if
pretty impressive from...
If the Italians could be a little longer in the water, perhaps that high rate of striking that Ceccarino has adopted, the neutral athletes hit the buoy, that'll slow them down a little bit. I mean, it's going to be safe for Italy, but again, you're thinking of in the final, are they going to be using those short strokes or maybe just a little longer forward, give them a bit more speed into the headwind?
Yeah, I think it's their style of rowing. They're just going for it with the rate, going for it with the leg drive. I think up against the wind here, it's actually suiting individual neutral athletes because they have come much closer to Italy than they were on the way out. So this is going to be a big, big sprint now for Cesarini. She's looking over, making sure she is right. That was a lovely landing now, right under the flag.
And the Tokyo Olympic champion grits her teeth, sprints up the hill. The neutral athlete is out of the boat already. It will be relatively close, and I think the Italians will have to pay attention to their technique into the headwind if they're going to progress further. But Cesarini does the business. 29-year-old gets her breath back. White flag for the race. And she's still sat down, Christina Motters.
Oh, very close time compared to Lithuania. Both 2:28s. So next up, moving on to knockout number 3. And this time we have Turkey versus Germany. Gearing up now, last couple of minutes before the start of this race. Big local support here for the crew from Turkey. But here we're seeing Sophie Leupold of Germany. She's going to be doing the big sprint down, joining Franz Werner. And then representing Turkey, Elis Ozbey. Big name here, Turkish rowing. She'll be joining Faith Onsal.
Yeah, obviously, no doubt as to who the crowd's going to be behind. Germany were 3rd quickest in the time trial. So Leopold and her partner Franz Werner, favourites to take this, but we have seen some magical performances from the Turkey crews, and Ozbey and Unsal determined to show why they are the darlings of the Turkish crowd. Boats going into the water. That is the German boat you can see with those green kind of bibs on. The Turkey boat yet to go into the water, something taking their time over it. They're just checking. The Judge David Hussey just looking at the gates and giving a thumbs up to the Turkey crew. And she is, Elis Ozbey's got a hand up here just saying, wait, because my boat's not in the water. And the starters just turned around to see that's the case. I wonder what he was looking at, David Hussey.
There was something with the gate or with the oar, I think. Not sure there was a big problem because they seemed to get it sorted pretty quick. She still has her hand up in the air, though.
Paris Olympian Ellis Osbay finished 22nd in the single scull. Great result for Turkey. Thumbs up.
Even start. Germany on the right-hand side. Turkey just hitting the water ever so slightly. Nice, efficient entry. Turkey have a stroke pulled before Germany.
They do, but the German strokes are significantly more powerful to the back end. You can see what's coming down from Franz Werner in the bows of that German boat, and they have made distance back on Turkey already and are moving away.
Look at the rate of the recovery of the German boat. They are flying up and down the sea, big, powerful strokes, trying to use that push from the wind here as they head down the course. The wind is going to be giving them a hand, but it's going to be pushing them slightly onto this second marker buoy now. Big hit of that marker there from Germany.
Yeah, they lost a stroke there, didn't they? Turkey is still with just a bit of an overlap, and Turkey's only hope now is that they turn early and get close to that buoy on the far side. Germany starting the turn, that's good for them.
That's good.
Turkey haven't turned early and they're going way past it, and that is race over as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, they're adding so much work to themselves here. They're gone way past it. Germany started backing early again. This is where you're going to make the little advantages. Let's see if Turkey can work well with that gust that's pushing them here now. But Germany certainly leading this one out, keeping that rate up nice and high.
Yeah, decent course down the centre of that lane from Franz and Sophie, the German team, and the darlings of the home crowds, Osbay and Unsal, really left for dead at the turn at the top of the course.
Yeah, massive lead here from Germany now as they pass that final marker now before the approach to the beach. Turkey doing all they can now to get back into it, keeping the rate up nice and high, but it's the power from Germany here now. You see the way the bow is just sitting in that water. There's the power at the back end, power in the bow. Have a look over his shoulder there. Franz Werner getting ready.
Germany will hit the beach first. Franz Werner with that bucket hat on, stayed on his head despite the wind. Little bit of an early exit, I'd say there.
I would agree, yeah, just slightly. There's a bit of a steep exit from the boats here now. Turkey landing a little bit off course. That means game over for Turkey, but Germany booking their spot into the quarterfinals.
Yeah, I've seen how Franz's hat is kept on his head because he's got a little tie underneath it. I think you can see it there on the picture, which is why it hasn't blown off. So Germany through. Werner walks off. Powerful man, isn't he?
Yeah, and you could see that power on the water. So we have a 2:31. I'm wondering how's that comparing, Martin?
Yeah, a little bit slower than the 28s that we've seen from Italy and Lithuania. So, two female athletes at the start here for Portugal and Hungary.
Yeah, this is going to be, the races are going to start to get closer and closer now as we move through these knockouts.
Duarte Coste and Batista were fourth quickest in the time trial, so it is early advantage to them. But the Hungarian athlete Zoltana Gidani, 28 years of age. Her hero, would you believe, Niamh, is Sunita Puspura.
No way.
Way.
Would you believe she coached me a few weeks ago? She was down at my rowing club and she did a little bit of coaching with us.
We love Sunita.
We do love Sunita. Shout out to Sunita if she's watching.
Double world champion in 2018 and 2019. Women's single sculls on flat water. So Zoltana Gidani paired by Ferenc Sigeti, waiting for her in the boat, and Alonso Duarte Costa, well known in terms of coastal events, waiting for Patricia, his partner, who's crouched down now at the start. just close to us here. Oh, a little bit of a slower start from the Portuguese there.
Yeah, quicker reaction time there from Hungary for sure. But look at this, Portugal hitting the water first. Let's see if they can get off. Yes, Portugal have 1, 2, 3 strokes pulled here before Hungary.
Do you know, that was such an impressive move into the boat from the Portuguese. Again, no sort of panic, just easy, just focus on your movements. You can see the water splashing around there, these boats self-bailing, yeah?
They absolutely are, yeah. You can see at the stern there how they're open up, so the water will come in, but it will go out straight again. So yeah, nice lead here at the moment from Portugal going around that middle marker. You can see the gusts on the water, particularly for those of us on the beach here looking out. But nice, you know, keeping up that rate, nice quick on the recovery, hands down away, clearing that water.
Yeah, I feel that technique is suited for this kind of tailwind conditions. I just feel they kind of need to lengthen out as they come back into the headwind just to maximise their boat speed. They come into the turning point. Let's see what they do here.
So let's see when they start backing. Here we go. Yeah, nice early back there from Portugal. Still being pushed off a little bit, but that's going to happen. Wider there from Hungary over on the far side.
And they're struggling to get round Hungary.
Yeah, here we go. Portugal didn't lose too much speed here now, and they're getting ready to go. Let's see if they keep that rate up. A little bit of an extra lie back, I would say, Martin.
Yeah, a little bit of an extra lie back. It's just interesting. I mean, the Portuguese team, coached by Pedro Fraga, the fantastic Portuguese Olympic athlete, and he will know exactly how to make a boat go fast in both tailwind and headwind conditions. The Hungarians on the far side, you can see from our drone shot, well, to the naked eye, it looks like they're gaining a little bit, but hitting that finger buoy, I don't think there's much chance that they're going to get back as long as the Portuguese dismount is pretty spectacular, I'd say.
Yeah, and they're adding some meters onto themselves there, Hungary, as well, by going the far side of that final marker. Now, on the way home, it doesn't matter which side. You can just go a straight line, but it doesn't matter which side you go on them. That only matters on the way out. But yeah, Portugal even starting to edge away from that flag as well. They'll have a few extra meters, just starting to correct themselves now for that straight run up the beach.
So Alfonso Giorgi Costa looks round, pretty skillful dismount there, and that's a jog past the flag. He knows he's got this in the bag, and his team will progress safely through to the quarterfinals. Great sprint from Ferenc Szigeti there, the Hungarian. He was so quick on the beach, Szigeti, but their team just couldn't really get close enough to the Portuguese to make that speed work for him.
So time here now for Portugal. We have a 2:30.40 for Portugal.
So,
quite a quick time.
Yeah, and thanks to Manuel, who's pointed out that Alfonso was Pedro Fraga's partner in the Tokyo Olympics. So the two of them really simpatico together. I did have that marked, but I chose the wrong colour, or the same colour as the Coastals. They finished 13th in the Tokyo Olympics. But here we have the next heat. It is the Spanish athlete on the start here, Nadia Felipe Garcia, and her Finnish opponent, Eva Karpinen. So the Spanish team were significantly quicker in the time trial, but I think after all his efforts yesterday, Nakarainen will have got a little bit of a rest and be renewed, and this is going to be a pretty close contest.
Yeah, absolutely. We were chatting about it earlier. Joel has had a lot of racing over the last few days. You know, he won 2 gold medals in the endurance racing. He had, I think, was it 5 races yesterday between his 2 categories. He's entered in the solo and the mixed double. So he's been doing a lot of work the last few days. So it's going to be a good race. So this time, yes, Spain versus Finland. Boats are entering into the water. And athletes now just waiting for the call. Both crews now, so much experience in the coastal and beach sprints over the years. All 4 of them have represented their country multiple times in coastal and beach sprints. Oh, we have a heartbeat, Martin.
Heartbeat's great. We love the heartbeat. Nakarainen waiting in the water. He can jump in carefully as soon as he hears the buzzer go.
Here we go. Nice quick reaction time. Spain definitely a little bit quicker on the feet here.
Yeah, coming down into the boat. It will be Spain to enter the boat first. And there is Eva Karpinen. Spain going off, and Nakarainen and Karpinen haven't taken a stroke yet. Not too much time loss, but advantage Spain off the beach.
Yeah, absolutely. Those first few strokes pulled. They're going very wide here, Spain, around that first marker buoy here in the bow. Adrian Miramon Quiroga, multiple medalist in the coastal and beach sprints. We usually see him in the solo boat. He's in the mixed double this time. They're going to be ones to watch, but Finland very much still in this.
Well, yeah, you say still in this. I think Spain have pulled away. Finland did go wide on that first buoy, and they're going round the mid-course buoy. And Nakarainen and Karpinen with a lot to do. It's going to come down to the turn. Both of them were looking at the course and looking at the wind, and I feel that the Finns are going to turn early here, coming back into it.
Yeah, Finland going very narrow here to the turning marker. Oh, literally hugging it. Spain going a little bit wider. Spain have the speed up. Spain are going to pull the first few strokes together here. Oh, this is close.
Yeah, it is close, and the Finns have gone off not straight, really to try and get round as quick as they can. Spain with a one boat length lead. So what have Karpinen and Nakarainen got now?
Finland going way off course now, coming over to the Spanish course. They're going to have to correct. We saw this as well yesterday.
Yeah, I think Finland have got more endurance on this headwind. I would back Nakarainen to get to the beach pretty close to the Spanish team. I think Spain will hit the beach first, but Nakarainen looking round there. He's adjusting his course. Spain in the lead. This is going to be close.
Yes, we know Miramon Quiroga is a fast sprinter. We know Joel has the power, but they're now going way off course now again. Spain are going to hit that final marker. Oh, that's just slowing down the speed ever so slightly. Finland totally overcorrecting here now. Oh, my goodness, Martin.
Nakarainen's not the fastest sprinter. I'd say advantage Spain for this. And Adrian Miramon Quiroga, the 34-year-old, he's going to jump out the bows. He's going to get there first, and it's going to be exit for Nakarainen and Karpinen. Here comes the Spanish athlete. Nakarainen knows he's behind. He's going for everything, but the Spanish athlete Miramon just jogging to the buzzer, and Nakarainen smiles. Says, well done, what a great competitor Nakarainen is.
I feel like it was navigation again there, just maybe let them down.
Yeah.
They were a bit behind them on the water, but like they flew back against the wind there, so I think it was just down to navigation there. So Spain booking their spot. Another quick time. They're all very similar times here.
Yeah, 2:31. Quickest time been 2:28 down the course. Times will determine who you get to race in the next round, the quarterfinals.
As we move on to knockout number 6, this is the turn of, it is going to be Netherlands versus France.
Yeah, Mike Mantell and Marika Kaiser, who's waiting there on the beach. There she is, the Tokyo Olympic bronze medalist. They had to go through the time trial yesterday, and Chloe Briard there for France. They posted the quicker time in yesterday morning's time trial. Anton Lefebvre waiting down in the boat. I think it's kind of interesting, the selection for the Dutch team, because Mike Mantell, he's such a tall athlete. You can see him waiting there for the boat to go in. And you know, that means they row long strokes. That might suit them into the headwinds. I'm not sure Mantell's the quickest sprinter on the way back. So I think getting in the boat quickly for the Netherlands is absolutely vital. There's a lot of pressure on Kaiser here, the athlete on the far side next to that starting podium there.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to have to take advantage wherever they can, and that sprint and that entry into the boat and those first few strokes become especially important for them now. So they're crouching down, athletes in the water, ready to go.
And as both athletes sprint off, Mantel and Lefebvre, Mantel gets in carefully, Lefebvre's in before him, and it's the French athlete to the boat first. Marieke Keizer, nice entry to the boat for the Dutch woman there. And it's pretty much even as they go off the beach. Maybe France with a slight advantage.
Yeah, Chloe Briard there of France just getting in a little bit quicker. They're staying nice and close to that first finger marker, so you don't want that speed that they've just built up to slow down now with just getting caught up slightly. They're going to have to pull hard now on the left-hand side to get to the correct side of that middle marker. As
are the Dutch, actually. Mike Mantel looking round. He's just saying to Marieke, we've got to get round on the left-hand side of this marker. It's going to be tight for the French. The Dutch do it really well. You can see they've got the advantage. Keizer and Mantel are flying in the middle part of this course.
They absolutely are using that wind to their advantage now. Big, fast strokes here. They're going to get to the turn ahead of them, but will they have that experience to stay close to that marker?
Well, Mantel hoping, oh, what a great turn. That was early, and it could have turned even earlier. But look at the French, so close, those lightning quick strokes. The Dutch with those longer strokes, Mantel really pulling in. They're going to start off first, but I think the French have made up time there, Neve.
They have, yeah. Netherlands got in just ahead of France, but France just seemed to have a little bit more power going around. It is quite even, but let's see who takes advantage up against the wind here.
Mantel, the more experienced flatwater sculler than his French opponent there in the boat, and that is taking them away. They have a faster straight line speed, but their position on the beach, Neve.
Yeah, their position isn't great. Netherlands there came right over towards the other lane now next to France. They're having to overcorrect again, adding some unnecessary meters to themselves. French have much straighter line coming back here. This is going to come down to the exit and that sprint once again.
Yeah, Mike Mantel's got it all to do. The tall Dutchman, will his limbs be fast enough to carry him to the buzzer ahead of Lefebvre, the French bowman? It is nip and tuck as we come into the beach. Netherlands with the advantage.
Absolutely, Netherlands with the advantage. Looking over his shoulder there, only another few strokes to pull. The mistake would be to jump out too early here now. Here he is. Okay, lovely clean jump, but France are out as well. It is Netherlands, it is France.
It's going to be so close. It is Netherlands just coming to the buzzer first. Mantel with a look on his face, it was grimace. Plus that was such a quick sprint from Lefebvre as well. Closest race of the day.
Closest race of the day, and even more of that to come here. So Netherlands booking their spot into the next round, into the quarterfinals.
Have you seen a look on the face? So the Netherlands weren't the faster crew in the time trial, but they have prevailed here. I think that's the first time we've seen that this morning.
I think so, and the times from all of these, the winners out of all these knockout rounds, so close. Another 2:31 here. So the next round is going to be fierce, which is exactly what we want. And we move on to knockout number 7. And here we have
Poland and Austria. Yeah, and Poland with the quickest time in the time trials. With Dominika Baranowska with a hand up now. Well, we're looking at the Austrian athlete going through his warm-up. Paul Ruttmann, the rower turned triathlete turned rower again, 40 years of age. Good distance runner, but let's see how his sprint is.
Let's see how his sprint is. As we look out at the water, more white horses starting to appear here now. The gusts are starting to pick up. So it's making conditions quite challenging. Again, no major breakers here at all, so the entry and exits are pretty standard. But it's actually the racing and the rowing that's on it in the course that's where we're going to make our advantages.
Ada Bunovsky, the 23-year-old, waiting in the boat for his partner Dominika, who's up here. There she is. Traditional Polish red and white colours on the unisuit.
we go. Poland versus Austria. Very even here.
Yeah, Ruttman's off quicker there and into the boat first.
Yes, Austria have 3 strokes pulled now. Poland are off. Let's see what Poland can do on the water. Big, oh yes, see problem here for Poland. They've completely stopped as the strokes woman just getting herself back going. Oh, they.
Do you know what happened there? They tried to catch up in the first 3 or 4 strokes. They had a slower entry. And just that frenetic start meant that the Polish stroke woman came off a seat. And Dominika Baranowska got a lot to do now.
Yeah, Poland are having to really overcorrect to get to the correct side of that middle marker. They're having to go very much off the course now, and they're going to have to pull very hard on the left-hand blade now to get back on course for the turning marker. So this is a pretty perfect navigation here from Austria. They're definitely going to be hitting that turning marker first.
Yeah, Poland with the quicker time. You'd expect them to make up distance on the homeward leg. And the Austrians going past Poland going well past the buoy there, and that could be significant in this race. They are struggling to get back while Austria paddle off. It is just a length and a half in it. A lot to do for the Poles on the homeward run.
Yeah, for a crew who were stopped there for about 3 or 4 strokes, they've really kind of gotten themselves back into it. Probably could have taken better advantage of the turn. You can see their long lie back now. They're up against a very strong wind. There's strong gusts here. But it is advantage still to Austria on the far side, who are right down the middle of the course.
Yeah, Tabea Minchmeyer will be doing the sprint in the bows of the Austrian boat. Poland still not making any headway on their Austrian opponents. And once again, it's going to be the slower crew from the time trial who will come to the beach first and look set to progress to the quarterfinals.
Yeah, Austria just clipping the blades there off that final marker. That's going to take a little bit of speed out of the speed that they have built up, but they have enough of a lead now at this point. Still hard gusts to try and pull against, even as they come into the beach here now. But as long as the exit and the run goes okay, they're going to be heading for the next round.
Yeah, Poland have made a little bit up. Minchmeyer looks around there. Into the deep water, Minchmeyer there. And she's fallen down, and the Polish athlete is close, but Minchmeyer, grit and determination on her face, just makes it. Oh dear, that was so close. And Adam Bukowski for Poland holds his head in his hands.
For a crew who were quite a bit back on the water, they really made up ground there on the way home.
Yeah, but for that mistake on the start, I think with a little more sort of time, you know, more haste, less speed, in terms of the entry into the boat, those first few, it's not just the entry, it's how you take it off, because you're very frenetic, but you've got to stay on your seat.
Absolutely, you have to stay relaxed, but there is a moment of where that kind of adrenaline can turn into panic and fear, but you have to stay some way relaxed, and that's where the boat handlers and team managers come in. They need to be talking to their athletes as they jump in, just to take that second to just stay relaxed while still moving through the motions.
Relatively slow time there, but the wind's more. Natasha Searson waiting on the beach for the sprint. Cam Buchan down in the boat. Her partner. These two crews relatively close together. Matto Brandt, 30 years of age, just pacing up there. You can see shrug of the shoulders. And the Croatian athlete will be running down to join Martina Kajc.
Command has been given, boats are being placed in the water. Again, strong gusts, so those 3 boat handlers are going to be used throughout the day here now today. And as you can see, there's a bit of a, like the athlete that's jumping into the bow, they're up to pretty much their waist here because there is a bit of a steep fall in the beach here. So they really have to work hard to get themselves in and set on the seat in a minimal amount of time.
Yeah, and carefully. That's where Mantell's long legs came in, wasn't it? The Dutch athlete.
And Cam is so tall there over the far side, I'd say it's only up to his knees. So he can just step into the boat. Both athletes looking nice and relaxed here. Yeah, Great Britain getting nice and close. This is the technique we're seeing from Great Britain. All the athletes, one hand on the ground. One hand back behind. Here they go. Oh, quick reaction time from Great Britain. Quicker on the feet for Croatia, though.
Croatia were quickest in the time trial, but Great Britain really improved in the second time trial. I think they will be the crew to beat, but Croatia off so quickly.
Yeah, 3 strokes pulled there before Great Britain got going.
Cam Buchan now trying to lay it down, but advantage to Matto Brandt. Great sprint, nearly clear water on the British. Well, there's a lot of rowing in this race to do. The homeward run will take time. The wind's gusting too.
Yeah, crews now making their way to that middle marker. Croatia have the advantage, but Great Britain have got themselves right back into this. They've clawed down that length.
Yeah, look round there from Martina Kajc, the bow woman there, just to check on where that turning buoy is. Cam Buchan looking round too, and still Croatia have the slight advantage, and they turn early. Great Britain turn early too. Oh, it's painful watching them turn. Great turn from the British.
Yeah.
They're going to go off first. They have made up half a length on that turn. That is so impressive.
That was a brilliant turn. They just stayed so close to that marker compared to Croatia. They have obviously been reading the conditions. They knew what they had to do. And now look at the big long lie back here from Cam from Great Britain over on the far side of our screen. This is going to serve well up against this wind.
Yeah, you can see the Croatians now. Matto Brandt really putting his shoulders into it. The technique just slightly going. It was so good in the tailwind, hitting the finger buoy. Lost the cohesion. Advantage to Great Britain as they head to the beach.
Yeah, they're adding a few meters onto themselves now, going that far side of that final finger marker, but looking like they have enough of an advantage on the water certainly right now. So yeah, big lie back here from Cam and Natasha.
Yeah, I just wondered what that was. Is that camera on the bow of the British boat, just to look at their technique?
Yes, Cam has been recording all of this. He had a little vlog up this morning of his first race day, but definitely going to hit that beach first here. So it is Great Britain. Cam finishing early, stepping totally tall up on the bow of that boat. Here he comes around that flag. Cam Buchan, not the fastest sprint, but booking his spot into the quarterfinal. Croatia missing out. Nice support here, nice hug between Great Britain and Croatia.
Little and large there, wasn't it?
Little and large for sure.
I was going to say 2:35 for Great Britain, 2:28. That is a lightning fast time from Britain. No wonder Croatia, the quicker boat in the time trials, couldn't compete. That's one of the fastest times. Great Britain catapulted themselves into podium contention, maybe.
I think if they quicken up the entry a little bit, if they can, if that's possible throughout the day, they'll be able to get even more of a gain at that point. But yeah, that's all our knockouts done.
Wow, we're on to the quarterfinals. Excitement.
Excitement, yes, and we will be moving on to the under-19 men's solo. So how this is going to work now is we're going to have 4 quarterfinals. Out of that, we'll get our semi-finalists. Then we'll go into our final B, where we'll get our bronze medalists, and straight into our final A, where we'll be crowning our first medalist, gold and silver of the day. So these rowers now back-to-back racing over the next hour or so. Quarterfinals, straight into semi, straight into final B, straight into final A.
So Spain was the fastest in the knockout round of 16. The Spanish athlete, I expect that means he would be racing the slowest athlete that I'm looking down my timesheet, and that is from Italy. So there may be a Spain versus Italy matchup.
I think so, Martin. Now this is due to go off at 10:30, so just about 10 minutes away.
Yeah, so we're gonna just take a little short break now and be back with you in 5 minutes time and leave you with these beautiful beach pictures here in Antalya.
Moi j'ai bu une bière avec eux avant de partir. Tu vois, Même pour une bière, c'est la honte. Tu bois des bières? Comme les enfants.
Mets-moi un café au lait.
Café au chocolat. Le chocolat, je dis. Il est bien. Il est bien. Je voulais changer le programme. Parce que normalement, au championnat du monde, ils vont faire
7 minutes. Ah ouais?
Pas le budget. Et là, on a parlé là. On a parlé avec le gars. Qui a pris la première place de manière. Après, c'était avec les volontaires, et après, là, pas l'habitude.
So welcome back. We're at the 2025 European Rowing Beach Sprint Championships. We're into the excitement here. We're into the last 8, the quarterfinals of the Coastal Under-19 Men's Solo. Quarterfinal 1, Estonia versus Lithuania. So the 1-minute call has been given. The boats are in the water. We have 3 boat handlers are allowed here today. I'm noticing that Lithuania are opting for 2, but there are quite strong gusts here this morning compared to yesterday. So crews now can have 3 of those boat handlers. Now we're very excited to watch Marcus Vix there of Estonia. He's on the right-hand side. Through the time trials yesterday, he wasn't the fastest of these athletes, but then he knocked out the fastest, the German, through the time trial. So he's going to have a quick time. So it is Marcus Vix of Estonia flying down the beach. Gabriunas of Lithuania, pretty evenly matched on the run, but it is Lithuania who've those first few strokes pulled.
Well, we saw Vix have that fantastic result against Krones yesterday. Beat the fastest athlete on the water, so he's capable of anything, this Estonian.
He absolutely is, yeah. Just a slight lead as he goes through that first finger marker. They're making their way now. They're going to have to pull harder on the left-hand side here as they navigate around the far side of the next marker. Definitely still advantage to Estonia over Gabriunas of Lithuania, but it's still close here. So they're up against, or they have the advantage of the wind now on the way down to the turning marker. But what we're seeing is that a lot of them are being pushed away off it.
2 Baltic republics here, and Vix absolutely flying down the course, isn't he, the Estonian? Great turn, potentially. Both athletes going quite a way past the far buoy, but Vix with a 4 seconds quicker time in yesterday's heats than his opponent, and he's off first, but this is a long leg back, isn't it?
This is a long leg back. They're up against those very strong gusts. We're seeing rowers slightly change techniques. They're opting for bigger lie backs here, trying to keep the blades in the water as long as they can. So this time we're to the solo boats. We're seeing swift boats now for all the solo races.
Vix is so quick over the sand. I just feel that he's going to win this race because of his sprinting speed over Gabriunas. Even though Vix is going to come to the beach first, and you know this is going to put him into the semi-finals with a great chance of a podium finish.
Absolutely, yeah. He's just been getting better and quicker as the rounds have gone through here. He has a pretty good line now as he comes into the beach. Definitely advantage on the water here. Let's see what his exit and his sprint up is like. They have that little bit of a hill to contend with on the beach. But yes, it is Estonia coming to that beach first. Looking over the left shoulder, here he comes.
Marcus is out of the boat, and the sprint, he doesn't need that flat-out sprint that he had against Krones yesterday. He's still gritting his teeth, but shakes his fist. He's into the semi-final. Job done for the Estonian.
Job done, and Gabriunas of Lithuania there just crossing finish line. He's eliminated, and it is now time for Marcus Vix to recover, because we'll go through these quarterfinals and then it'll be straight into semi-finals.
Yeah, they go on the rowing machines that are just behind us, and I did see Marika Kaiser and Mike Mantell on the rowing machines, and Marika was quite keen that I took a look at Mike Mantell's shin. He's cut it on a stone getting out the boat, and he's got stitches in it.
Stitches in it?
Yeah, he's got a bandage around it. So, yeah, there is jeopardy getting out of the boat.
There certainly is indeed. So that was the first quarter final of the day. Next we move on to the second, and this time this is going to be a big race between Spain and Italy.
Yeah, 2 Mediterranean countries. Here, the Spanish athlete posted the quickest time to win his last 16 battle, 2:27, against Fugazzotto, the Italian, with the hip wiggle, 2:39. Is he doing it again?
He's doing the hip wiggle again, but I'm looking at Spain here. Ramon Borja there were so like fierce getting into the zone. You compared him to the Bulls yesterday, if you remember that, Martin.
Yeah,
just
the
that focus.
Toreador. Yeah, the athlete.
See, both of these athletes, really interesting that they're at the very edge of the start line. A lot of them go in front of the buzzers, whereas these two guys, they're experienced beach sprinters. You know, Spain here, Rojas Borja, raced last year at the Worlds, made it into this round, the quarterfinals. Fugazzotto, of course, previous world champion in the beach sprints.
Well, you've got the Spanish athlete, Roman Borja, the Toreador here, but he's built like a bull. His opponent, Fugazzotto, absolutely stocky, the Italian. So the bullfighter against the bull, who will win out in this race here?
Yeah, Italy reigning European champion from last year in the men's solo and the mixed on the under-19 category. But here they go, Spain, so quick on the sand.
Oh, the Italian's going to get to the boat just slightly behind. Nice entry from the Spanish, but the Italian has blasted off, and he knows he's got to do that, Neve, because the Spanish athlete was so quick in the last 16 round.
Yeah, Fugazzotto there of Italy just blasted off. Massive, powerful strokes. Look at his rate. He is flying, and he has put himself into a nice position now in the lead, opting for a pretty direct route here down to that turning marker. Going to have to be careful. He needs to pull a little bit harder on that left-hand side here.
He does. He's got to get round. Advantage to the bull, and the bullfighters catching the bull up at the moment. The Spanish athlete.
Yes, Italy, big hit there off that middle marker. Didn't slow the speed too much. He had enough speed and power going through it.
He's got a real quick whip out the finish, long finish, and he really gets his hands around the back turn, and he's moved past the Italian. Advantage to the Toreador. How's he going to turn?
Yeah,
a little bit slow.
Here. Flying past a little bit. Italy staying much tighter here.
Oh,
they're
that's a
going to come
better
out
turn
even.
from the Italian.
Who can get the speed up now? Who can navigate properly? Italy maybe going a little bit wide as we look out the beach. Spain have a better line right now.
I think faster straight line speed for the Spanish athlete. Italy on the right of your picture. You can see has the overlap, Fugazzotto. And looks smooth off the back end. Spain with that strong, quick movement round the back turn.
Yeah, his technique is serving well up against the wind here now. Bodis just moving that little bit quicker through the gusts here compared to Italy's technique.
Ramon Borja heading for the beach with a one-length advantage. The Toreador beating the bull at the moment of Fugazzotto, the Italian. And he's going to hit the beat first. He has got a length and a half advantage now. Great homeward leg for Ramon Borja.
Yeah, here he comes. He's going to make a quick exit out the right-hand side. Oh, a little tumble here, but I think he has enough of a gap. Fugazzotto still in the water, just a quick jump out. He's having to work hard here now, but the Spanish sculler has enough done here. He books his place into the semi-finals. And a walk up the beach here from Fugazzotto. Disappointment here from the Italian.
Yeah, he's absolutely destroyed. He put so much into that sprint out that, yeah, didn't really look each other in the eye there. The Toreador won out in that race.
And he is absolutely spent there. Spanish athlete just going to the ground. There's a quick turnaround here. 2:26.14 for Spain.
Yeah, that's quicker than he raced yesterday, won in 2:27. That's the quickest time that we've seen. It's something like 8 seconds quicker than Vic's in the first heat.
So we move on to quarterfinal 3. This time it is a race between Great Britain and Portugal.
Yeah, so Chamberlain Hyde posted a 6 seconds quicker time to win his last 16 race than Denis Oliveira of Portugal.
And of course, Oliveira, he was already out racing this morning in the under-19 mixed doubles. So second race for him. Advantages, he has an idea of what the wind is like out there, what he needs to do around the course. But of course, he's going to have spent a bit more energy compared to Sol, Chamberlain, Hyde at this point of the day. Sol here, no stranger to beach sprints, champion last year at the Worlds in the under-19 mixed doubles.
Comes from the south coast of England, close to the Isle of Wight. Rows for Lymington Rowing Club. The British sculler. And his Portuguese opponents pacing around like a caged tiger almost, ready to unleash that powerful sprint. Boats are ready, athletes are ready, starters yet to be ready.
So here we go, attention. Great Britain down on the ground, off he goes.
Legs moving so quickly, the British sculler, he gets to the boat first. Just making sure that he's on the seat, and it's Great Britain that move off smoothly and with a half boat length lead.
Yeah, very quick start there from Sol, but we know the Portuguese are fast on the water here now. So Dennis Oliveira doing all he can here now. He's just a little bit behind at this point in the race, but with the wind helping him, he's quite a shorter athlete. He's going to keep that rate up nice and high, staying up very tall at the finish.
He is
whipping through.
He's very clean out the back end. I really like what the Portuguese sculler is doing here. He's made up a little bit of ground on his British opponent. I think sustainability is going to be the point for me. That the Portuguese has put so much effort into this first part of the race. And Chamberlain Hyde looks across, I think with frustration as they come to the turning buoy.
Yeah, I think so. Portugal getting himself right back into this race, but I'm not sure technique-wise, as you said, will that be sustainable on the way home up against that wind? Oh, so tight here from Great Britain. What a turn here from Sol.
That is his
Amazing.
experience. Sensational on the top turn. Just pulls his blade to the side of his body to miss that turning buoy. And Dennis Oliveira is going to have to do it all again on the homeward run. He did have the quicker speed in the tailwind, but this is another matter with the offshore breeze now blowing into the back of both these athletes.
Yeah, I know the Great Britain athletes here, they've been training in a lot of rough water in Spain over the last few weeks, and they've been spending a lot of time perfecting those little, the things that will give them the little marginal gains. And so that was a super turn, but I'm unsure about what we were saying about the technique, because Portugal staying right up with Great Britain here. Great Britain definitely a longer stroke, both is moving through that water, but Portugal right up alongside him.
Chamberlain Hyde looking across, not so good to be looking across. He's going to hit that. Oh, Chamberlain Hyde has lost a little bit of valuable time. He's still in the lead, but his Portuguese opponent is absolutely close. I think Chamberlain Hyde is the quicker sprinter, but Oliveira is looking across too. Both athletes going to hit the beach together.
What an incredible finish. It is Great Britain hitting that sand. He is out. He is making his way. Oh, Portugal got out too soon, into nearly up to his waist, and he is not putting as much effort into the sprint. He knows that Sol Chamberlain Hyde has it. What a finish there. Oh my goodness.
Smile on the face of Dennis Oliveira. He knew that it was all on the line for that dismount, and he just got out too soon into deep water. I think Chamberlain Hyde would have won that race with his sprinting power, but that was so exciting. What a great little scull from Oliveira too. Beautiful technique. I think he was the fastest sculler over the water. But the turn of Chamberlain Hyde was sensational at the top end, wasn't it?
Incredible, incredible. Yeah, he had been watching the earlier athletes and would have learned from them. Incredible. So he'll just need to hold on to that technique now later on through the later rounds. Next up, quarter-final of the Coastal Under-19 men's solo. It is the turn of Austria versus Czechia.
Yeah, both these athletes posted 2:35 when they won their last 16 rounds, so we should be in for another great contest here. Lukas Krajek from Czechia, you can see him there just rubbing his hands together. He's on the left-hand side of the course, and over to the far side of the course is Vince Schreiber, the 18-year-old Austrian athlete. This is the quarterfinals of the under-19 men's solo beach sprint. Placed in the semi-final at stake.
Less than 1 minute to go now to the start. Boats are in the water.
And if you get into the semi-final, you're guaranteed a race for a podium place.
Absolutely.
Which is so exciting.
Absolutely.
So that's the prize for these athletes. Which one will take advantage of that?
Waiting patiently for the red lights to come on in front of them.
Lukas Krajcek from Czechia he's chosen to race with his socks on. Pretty even sprint off, I'd say, from both athletes.
Even, yes. Oh, look at the hop in from Czechia. He's off. First full stroke pulled there. What a start there. That was a brilliant entry by Lukas Krajcek of Czechia. He is off, but starting to even out slightly. He is going to get to that first marker first, but the way he has himself lined up, he's going to hit off it.
I feel that Krajcek there did so well because he just hopped into the boat and then he didn't panic. He waited for the push-off before he started rowing. Everything was great for him.
Yeah, the line there though of Krajcek, if he's not careful, he's going to miss that middle turn. Just getting to the correct side of it just in time. Going to hit off it here again. He has good speed and power to blast through it, but he has
he's
to be
off his
careful.
seat. Krajcek is off his seat. The Czech athlete. Oh, and he stopped. He stopped rowing, and the Austrian Schreiber has taken advantage of that. Krajcek's got back on his seat now. It just shows you the jeopardy in these beach sprints.
Yeah, I think him hitting off two of those markers may have just caused that little bit of a disadvantage. Pretty good turn here. He knows he's going to have to work hard on this homeward leg here now, but definitely advantage to Austria, who is taking a very wide exit out of that marker.
Well, how did Krajcek from the Czech Republic, from Czechia, get back into this race? Because he was dead and buried when he came off his seat, but he's now in with a fighting chance. Schreiber just pushing the back end of the stroke, just taking his boat a little bit away from the Czechia athlete, and it's advantage Austria on the left of your screen. Schreiber looking good for the win here.
Yeah, but Austria taking a longer route to get back to the beach. He was over on top of Czechia's lane, having to recorrect himself, so adding unnecessary meters. Czechia looking over at Austria, then over his shoulder. This is going to be closer than we think. Oh, another hit off that marker there by Czechia.
Skillfully pulls his blade in, chose not to hit it this time. I think that might have been good tactics. And Krajcek's bow just coming ever closer to Schreiber's. Czechia going to hit the beach level with the Austrian.
Yeah, here comes Czechia, going to have a bit of a longer run. He's coming out the right-hand side. He's going to have to double back. He's out, as is Austria. They're both up the beach. Head is down for Austria. Better run here by Czechia.
Oh, he did it. What a close race. That's our closest finish. Sensational. Krajcek absolutely elated.
What if, after being stopped for about 3 strokes with his seat, and he comes back?
Well, we knew it was going to be close, but we didn't know it was going to be that close.
Amazing.
Let's have a look at the time. Both athletes covered in sand. They both had to dive for the buzzer. That was the best celebration. Even the finish judge shakes Krajcek's hands. I think he was impressed with that dive.
We thought it was all over when he came off the seat, when the seat got jammed. But what a comeback there from Czechia.
2:35, just 0.3 of a second separated the two athletes.
One copy. So we'll have a couple of minutes now to give the athletes a little bit of a break because we're moving straight into the semi-finals of the under-19 men's solo. The draw has been done here, and it is going to be in semi-final 1, Estonia versus Spain, and semi-final 2, it is going to be Great Britain versus Czechia.
So Marcus Vix goes again against the fastest athlete on the water, Garcia Ramon Borja. So this is a new format for me. So why have they got the men's under-19 semi-finals so close to their quarterfinals?
So this is one of the perks, or one of the great things about this sport. It's all about being able to endure races back to back. So the athletes need to be a well-rounded athlete. They need to have that endurance of being able to race back to back, but they also need to be powerful sprinters. So it just makes it more of a challenge, and great for spectators too.
Yeah, great for spectators.
Yeah, so there's not much recovery they can do in between these races, but what we're seeing is athletes were staying out of the sun. They were trying to get as much shade as possible, just refueling with a bit of water, a bit of sugar, but not much they can do in the little time they have.
Well, there's 8 seconds between Vix and Ramon Borja in terms of their times that they posted in the quarters. So all these athletes in the semi will have a chance at a podium place, but of course only one athlete in each semi will have a chance to go for gold and the title of European Beach Sprint Champion.
And of course, because these are under 19 athletes, depending on their age, some of them may be hoping to get themselves somewhere special next year. We have the Youth Olympics, where the beach sprints will be.
Yeah, in Dakar, in Senegal, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And they will have rowing, but it's going to be beach rowing, which is one advantage why rowing has developed this new great sport, of course, in the Olympic program, and now in the Youth Olympic program in Senegal next year, which we are all very excited about. And Ramon Borja is just, well, he's just a metre away from a commentary desk, focused on the beach. And Vix over the far side of the course with his arms folded in the shade. Well,
yeah.
Ramon Borja's in the shade. And I think you said both these athletes like to start on either side, sort of quite far away from each other.
They do, absolutely. It's really interesting. They both have sunglasses on, so we're not actually sure if they're looking at each other or where they're looking at, but definitely faced each other. We see Spain there really has like this aggressive kind of starting sequence even before the race starts at all. Absolutely in the zone here. You can see clapping the hands, just getting into that fierce physiological zone that he needs to be in.
You can see Ramon Borja, he's underneath the tent, which is kind of where we're based, and Vix is in the shade of the starting blocks.
Yeah, Vix has had a great couple of days with his racing, just getting faster and faster throughout the rounds.
He looks pretty cool and calm, doesn't he, the Estonian?
He does. Nothing is phasing him right now. He looks very relaxed.
Yeah, both wearing their sunnies. So you can't see what their eyes are
I'd love
doing.
to be able to see the eyes right now.
Yeah, just the expression, where they're looking.
Spanish athlete now just making communication with his boat handlers. Martin, could you understand what he said?
Muertas. Yeah, I did. He said muertas. And that's a very well-known Spanish word, Neve.
Which means, for anyone who can't understand...
Yeah, do it right or else you're in trouble.
So you can see, the Spanish athlete, well, we can see it's not being shown on screen right now. He's still making hand gestures to the boat handlers, letting them know which side he's going to get in. He's a very adaptable rower, so he just chooses, I think, on the line where he's going to go. He's making that hole in the sand for himself for that back foot. Vic's just going off the start line now, just have a quick word with potentially a coach, and he's now in the sun. They're ready to go. Two very different approaches. Here we go. Heartbeat is on.
Both athletes off, reacted to the buzzer. Spanish athlete focused on the boat. The Estonian, he's so quick over the water, but he's slightly slower this time. Easy into the boat from the Spanish athlete. And Ramon Borja gets off, advantage to him.
Yes, he had a stroke or two pulled there before. Vix of Estonia, they are flying out here. They have the addition of the wind here on the way out. Advantage at the moment to Spain as they go around that first marker. Both of them staying clear of it, deciding not to hit it this time. So they're now pulling harder on that left-hand side to get to the other side now of this next marker.
Well, Vix has answered every single challenge thrown at him so far. He's got the overlap on the fastest competitor on the water in this men's under-19 event, but Ramon Borja just steering in there away from that left-hand side to go to the correct side of the turning buoy at the end. The Estonian just going a little wayward there. Advantage to Spain as they head to the turning buoy.
Yeah, we know Spain have a lovely efficient turn now, and he'll have learned from earlier rounds. Yes, started backing now, trying to keep the bow as close to that marker. Vix of Estonia going that little bit wider, shorter stroke. Spain are on the way home already.
How quick was that turn? Such powerful with the left arm. Really did get that round. And I can't see Spain losing this, barring accidents. Vix has got an awful lot of work to do. His course is slightly off too as they head back. The gusts of the wind, 6 to 7 meters, blowing these athletes. There is jeopardy in those gusts there.
Yeah, they're having to work really hard at the back end there when they get the hands out of the way, when the blades are out of the water. That's where they're in danger. Spain working well here. You can see the gritted teeth. He had them at the start before he even got onto the beach. Here he is working so hard, staying in the lead. Both great courses now as they come down towards the beach.
Yeah, the Estonian athlete still that length behind, and Ramon Borja comes up to the last buoy. He will know that he's just got the last few meters to get to the beach. Estonia still going for all that he can. Vix has answered every challenge. Can he make one more challenge to the favourite here?
We know the Spanish has a very quick exit from the boat, a quick sprint up, but Vix is coming with every single stroke. He is working hard. Spain are out.
Took his time, the Spanish athlete. Really thought, I've got the lead there, and wanted to make sure. Vix is sprinting for all his worth. It's going to be close. The Spanish athlete, sorry. Vix has done it. Oh my goodness. He's in the final. The Spanish athlete's legs went. He's not even crossed the finish line yet. And that was endurance. That was the gust. That was the challenge the Estonian answered. The medical support goes to Ramon Borja, the Spanish athlete. A sensational sprint finish.
Oh my goodness, it was all over. We thought Spain had it, but his legs were just gone on that sprint up the beach. Marcus Vix, he is having the championship of his life.
He's got a medal. Gold or silver, which one? Unbelievable there.
Or bronze. Or no medal.
Ah, yeah.
He's in the race for a medal.
He's in the race for a gold and silver medal.
I'm not sure he thought he might be.
In the final. So, Ramon Borja there. Ignacio Ramon Borja is just on the beach. And I think he'll have to be helped up. He did so well to get to the buzzer even, but...
Will he make his final B?
Yeah, that's a great shout. He's got to recover. He's got to get onto the ergo. There's a red flag there being shown by the starter. And I don't understand what that red flag is for. Maybe that's...
I think it's to signify that there's just going to be a little delay on the next, maybe just because this race is still ongoing as such. Because he was pretty collapsed there on the start line, but he's up and he's walking off with the help of the medical team. But yes, he will hopefully be in a medal race for a bronze medal in final B. But Marcus Vix getting to final A, unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah, well, we did say he'd answered every challenge, but I didn't quite see him answering the challenge in the way that he did. He just looked across, but you could see in slow motion, he kind of went up the hill and then his legs started buckling up from under him, the Spanish athlete. I wonder what these next two competitors, Sol Chamberlain Hyde and Lukas Kryzak from Czechia, will have made of that contest. If they've seen it, they'll have to block it out from their mind. Chamberlain Hyde came down the course in 2:31, Kryzak in 2:35 in that quarter-final. But really, there was 8 seconds difference between the Spanish and the Estonian athletes.
But hey, time doesn't matter here.
Doesn't matter at all.
So
Blasting out, full gas. Chamberlain Hyde gets to the boat level with his opponent from Czechia. Nice push off from the British boats. Slight advantage to Chamberlain Hyde.
Yeah, I got the speed up there much quicker than Czechia here. Have a look over his shoulder here. Lukas Kryzak here, getting right back into it though. They're up. The gusts are pushing them down, so they have to be careful that they navigate correctly, because the second marker in particular, the gusts are pushing them away from it. So they just have to work really hard on that left side, to get to the correct side of it.
The offshore wind coming from the northwest, and that is over the left-hand shoulder of these scullers. Chamberlain Hyde going a little wide on that marker. Kryzak hits the marker too. Both scullers pretty level. Just advantage to the British sculler. We saw what a sensational turn he did in the quarterfinals, Niamh.
Yeah, incredible turn. He just hugged that turning point here. So let's see, he's already angling the bow in. Yes, here he goes. Staying so close, backing hard with, oh, this is unbelievable from Chamberlain Hyde once again. Perfect turn in these conditions.
Yeah, and Kryzak, the Czech athlete, going hard on his left-hand blade, but he was sort of washing out. He didn't get the bite that he wanted. So keen was he to get round that turn that it wasn't as efficient as Chamberlain Hyde, who's taken a massive advantage now in this race. So what's his endurance like? Will his legs hold out?
Let's see what his training has been like up to this point. Can he get there? He certainly has the advantage on the water. Looks like Kryzak of Czechia here, just kind of taking it at his ease at this point.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, does he know that he's in a B final and he knows that there's a bronze medal up for grabs potentially, and so he's just maybe conserving energy in a way?
Yeah, that's a great shout. I think he's given the race to Chamberlain Hyde, who's still going full gas. Chamberlain Hyde must realise soon that he's got this race in the bag. His opponent has given it to him on a plate. He will be in the A final with Markus Fix of Estonia.
As long as his legs keep working now on this run.
Yeah, he's got to make it, hasn't he?
Yeah, but here he comes. He's looking strong here in the water. Nice, lovely exit. Here he comes. Legs still looking somewhat fresh and not sprinting as hard as he can. We know he'll get more out of himself later. But yes, there he goes. Sol Chamberlain Hyde. Second year in a row to be in an A final, this time in the men's solo.
I think that Chamberlain Hyde was kind of going maybe for a time to see if he could get the best lane draw for the final, because the fastest athlete will get the best choice, won't he?
Absolutely, that was a great call, Martin. Yes, indeed.
And the Czech athlete Kryzak, well, he will contest the B final.
Oh, so it looks like maybe there may not be a final B. Spain is looking. We saw hurting with his legs, so perhaps. But we'll wait for official confirmation.
Yeah.
But Czechia looking like they're in a great position for a final B win. But let's wait and hear what happens. But they're the two semi-finals, so a little bit of a break here now, just to give the athletes a little bit of time to recover. And we'll wait for confirmation to see whether that B final will go ahead. And then of course we have the gold and silver medal race.
All the middle with you. And everybody again, want to say hi to everyone. Everyone is watching company.
So, Martin, your first finals coming up, first medal races of beach sprints. Are you excited?
Crazy. So no B final, it looks like. So Vlasnik has won the bronze.
Official?
No.
Can you officially say that to me?
No, I'm just saying it to you.
We're just having an unofficial chat here.
But they wouldn't take the athlete that Ramon Garcia beat in the quarterfinals, would they? And give them a chance to race in the B final?
I'm wondering, because we're seeing there's a few changes coming up later on in the junior, the under-19 women's solo, where they're bringing up, someone has withdrawn, and they're bringing up, we'll confirm all this later, but we're just getting confirmation that they're bringing, as you just said, maybe a slower athlete up because someone has withdrawn. So
someone with the next fastest time. Yeah, it's interesting because Ramon Borja beat Fugazzotto, the Italian athlete. So if they are going to have a B final, Marcus Vic's being interviewed there by the course commentators, both from Turkey. He's talking about the wind being so challenging.
he must be one happy athlete right now, and I think that, you know, the incredible challenges that he's overcome over the last few days, has to be going into this finally with confidence.
Lucas Kryzak just pacing up and down around the area. He doesn't know what's happening. He's got tape on his back, so he's obviously dealing with a bit of a back strain. But his Spanish opponent dealing with a lot more. Garcia Ramon Borja, we don't think is going to come out to race the B final.
It will be an incredible turnaround if he's on the start line. He looked to be in quite a bit of pain. The legs he'd just given it his all on the water. Legs weren't working on the sprint up. So we're just still waiting on that. Literally wouldn't work.
It reminded me when the Serbian Nick Pimenov stopped with 5 strokes to go in the Olympic semi-final of the men's double sculls in Paris. Just couldn't row anymore. And his partner tried to drag the boat across the line, but, you know, the Romanians got through and in the end won the gold medal in the final. But it was exactly like the body stopped functioning there. And we talk about lactic acid, and, you know, when you are going full gas, your muscles, your body produces, it produces lactic acid all the time, but you take in enough oxygen to sort of oxidize it and get rid of it. But obviously when you're sprinting flat out, you can't get enough oxygen in, so the lactic acid builds up. And then what it does, it will shut your body down when it gets so high. So he will have a lactic acid count of, I'm guessing, about 20, 22, 24.
Did anyone come back to you with your...
No, they didn't actually, which is kind of what lactic acid...
You asked viewers yesterday too.
I could have asked Joel Nakarainen because I did see him.
Yeah, he's an athlete who would definitely be monitoring those sort of things. And yeah, this is, I suppose, the challenging part of the sport. It is these like hard races back to back. But this is what the sport is, and this is what athletes train for, you know, and it's important that they're building up that endurance where they're able to sprint back to back to prepare for these competitions. So yeah, still waiting for that official confirmation. We can see Czechia there, Lucas Kryzak, still walking back and forth, waiting to hear himself if he's going to be racing again in Final B.
Yeah, and if you're experiencing sound issues, again, apologies for that. If you can hear us, we are working on the fix, and hopefully things will be good for you watching these incredible beach sprint finals at home.
So just a reminder of how the day will go. So we'll be getting into the finals of the under-19 men's solo shortly. Then we'll be moving in to the quarters, the last 8 of the under-19 women's solo. That'll take us right through the quarters, semi-finals and the finals. Then we will have the men's solo right through to final A of that, the women's solo, and then we moved on to the mix. So we'll be going into the under-19 mixed double sculls and then finishing off the day with the mixed double sculls, and of course then the victory ceremonies and where all the medals will be given out. We'll be showing those as well throughout the day.
Lukas Krajek of Czechia still walking around the beach. Still not certain that the Spanish athlete will come back and compete. Ignacio Ramon Borja Garcia.
Great music playing here.
Well, the Macarena goes. I don't see much. Oh yeah, the crowd are dancing to it. I can see in that grandstand on the far side. It's kind of addictive. And somebody starts it and then everybody else will be doing it.
Well, what I'm seeing is the Czechia boat handlers and the oar. They have their boat ready to go. So I'm wondering, does he have to race anyway, whether he'll have an opponent or not?
That's a great shout.
And actually have to finish the race just to get that bronze medal.
I think he will. And I think that's what we've been told. Let's just get confirmation of that.
Great shots here of the crowds here. One of the great things about this sport is we always have those big grandstands right next to the course. Such beach vibes happening. We have some great local hosts here as well who are trying to get the crowd going. But it's great for the athletes to have their supporters, their teammates, their family and friends so close to them as they race. Martin is back. What's the update, Martin?
Yeah, we'll ask one of the judges who wasn't sure. I saw Rowan Garcia, Rowan Bora sat on the chair in the medical centre. He was kind of okay, but obviously destroyed, and nobody's quite sure that if there will be a B final. But I think your suggestion that, you know, Krajek will have to paddle down the course, at least.
The withdrawal is later than 30 minutes. He will go home.
Okay.
So we're just getting an update there. Martin will update us now in shortly.
Yeah, so it's going to be, as you said, Neve, that if the withdrawal is later than 30 minutes, the Czech athlete will row the B final alone for the bronze medal.
I do notice that the Spanish oars are in the boat and the boat handlers are actually hanging around there. They're after appearing, so maybe it's still up in the air a little bit, but both boats now ready to go.
Well, you can almost certainly hear the music over our
Spain has a medical withdrawal.
headphones.
Yeah. But the other one still has to race.
We have a time? We have a time for this straight away?
The original time. The original time, yeah.
Okay, so yes, official confirmation that it will be a Czechia racing. Lukas Krajek will be racing by himself, so he does have to complete that course for final B to claim that bronze medal. So all he has to do is stay in the boat, get the sprint right, hit the buzzer, and he will claim that bronze medal. So yeah, one boat race, Martin.
Yeah, we're shortly going to be off as well. Krajek is on the start line, kneeling down. A lot of noise going on as the course commentators whipped up the crowd with the Macarena.
Yeah, Martin, do you think there's more pressure when you're by yourself and there's a lot of eyes on him? I guess it's a little bit like the time trial yesterday. but a bit more pressure maybe.
Well, I think there will be pressure. The pressure will be just be in his zone, get into the boat. He can take a little bit more time to make sure he does things properly. It's not going to be a time trial. He's absolutely going to be, you know, fatigued from the 2 races he's done already.
He just did a little hand gesture there a second ago, drawing the course, the slalom course with his hands. Oh, he got no time to prepare there. Off he goes. He is giving it 100% effort here on that sprint.
Yeah, there's no doubt. It's like he's racing Ramon Garcia nicely into the boat. And
Lovely clean
maybe
entry.
not quite as quick a sprint off in the boat as he did on the sands. But here is our bronze medalist, Roxesset, close to being a bronze medalist. His handlers are steering him down the course.
Yeah, you can see that gust from the wind. It is a northeasterly wind, so it's pushing him into the middle of the course there now. So you can see he's going wide. That wind pushed him wide around that first marker, so working a little bit harder on the left now to get to the correct side of this one. So yeah, just he's being very careful and just making sure he's not hitting any of these markers, not slowing down his speed as he heads towards that turning point now.
Yeah, Kryjak got plenty of time, still going hard up to the turning buoy. Let's see how quickly he goes around this top buoy. Digs his blade in. Oh, that's a decent turn. It's like he's racing, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Well, you don't want to get that drag from the wind there, so that was a really good turn. He stayed pretty close to it compared to other scullers, and he can take his time now to have a quick look over his shoulder and make sure his navigation is on point. But look, you can see the wide shot here now. He is literally straight back to the beach, really relaxed in his stroke here now up against that wind.
Yeah, so the 16-year-old doing a fantastic job here. Coming to the halfway point on this ride in, the gusts making things so difficult for these speed sprint athletes.
He is staying so relaxed at the catch though. Just a quick look over the right shoulder every now and again just to make sure he can see those finger markers. But this is beautiful rowing, beautiful sculling here from Kryjak of Czechia.
Pretty much like Andrej Sinek, his hero, the Czech multi-world champion and Olympic silver medalist in men's single sculls.
Perfect distance away from that final marker. Not getting hit up, not slowing the speed, but yes, bronze medal up for grabs here. Final few strokes. Just a quick look around again now, both shoulders. He'll see which side he'll get out.
Boat handler in the water. Just waiting for the big shallows. Yeah, surfed in on the waves. Big cheers for Lukas Kryjak. We're applauding in the commentary box here. Smile on his face. And he wins the bronze medal, gives himself a clap.
Great race there. Big smiles from Lukas Kryjak. Bronze medal, the Coastal Under-19 men's solo at the European Championships. Off he goes for a media interview, I think. So there we have it. 2:47.51 DNS in for Spain. Pretty perfect race there from Kryjak.
It was a pretty perfect race, and we have the final coming up shortly.
Yes, the race for the gold and silver medals coming up. We can see one athlete in the sun, one in the shade. Sol Chamberlain Hyde there of Great Britain opting to stay in the shade. Marcus Vix of Estonia. An incredible athlete to get to this point.
Yeah, and Kryjak is being interviewed there. So the course commentators are doing their job with the music, which is very loud.
Was that a little complaint there, Martin?
Well,
it is quite loud for us.
I think the crowd might like it, but
All right. Entire live stream.
We are waiting for the field of play to be ready for the final.
Yeah, we're seeing Marcus Vix there walking around, representing Estonia. Sala is hiding behind that little Finnish tower, staying in that shade. This is going to be a great race. Now gusts are picking up, making for challenging conditions on more so on the turn rather than anything else. The direction of the wind, it is pushing them off that turn. We do know that Great Britain have a very efficient turn. Marcus Vix has just been getting better and better throughout the last 2 days in the racing that he's done. So it's going to be a great, great final. There we have it, the 1 minute command to the start of finally of the Coastal Under 19 men's solo. Marcus Vix of Estonia, staying so relaxed. Sol Chamberlain Hyde of Great Britain doing his big, big jumps into the air. Boats are in the water, boat handlers are ready.
Yeah, it's kind of like a high jumper does before they go over the bar, isn't it, in the high jump competition, just all the sprinters, the hurdlers, just to get that explosive power in the legs for the sprint. But he must be fatigued, Sol Chamberlain, as is Marcus Vix. And we know how quick Vix is on the sprint. The gold medal race. Our first European champion will be crowned.
Very important to start your watch before you start your race, isn't it, Martin? Oh, quick reaction time from Estonia. Great Britain fast on the feet. It is Great Britain entering the water first. He is in, pulling 1, 2, 2.5 strokes before Estonia go.
Yeah, well, that was the same, I think, with Vix's last race against the Spanish. And the thing is, we know how fast that Chamberlain Hyde is on the turn, and he has a massive advantage now over his Estonian rival, who is looking tired, I have to say. Vix, the expression on his face, the technique, it's not quite as sharp as he has been in previous days. Chamberlain Hyde pushing out those finishes, looks the stronger athlete by far on this leg with the offshore breeze.
Yeah, I suppose Marcus Vix was the underdog throughout this, and he did have that extra race yesterday. He had to do that second time trial, but got himself into the medal race here. Yes, Chamberlain Hyde starting to pull away now and open up quite a bit of water. We do know, look at this turn, he's going to do it again, that really tight turn. Beautiful execution there.
No mistakes from the British sculler from the south coast.
Estonia there just going so wide, just getting caught up by those gusts and going, he's having to pull probably 3 strokes before he passes that turning marker. He's back now, bit of a wide exit there as well for Estonia.
So the man from Milford progresses past the midway buoy. You can see it there. He knows he has maybe just 150 meters to hit the beach till he will be crowned European champion of under-19 beach sprints.
Yeah, what a lead here. He just needs to stay relaxed here now, keep his mind in the game. This is pretty perfect here from Great Britain. Just stay relaxed here. Big long strokes up against those gusts. Here he comes, final approach to the beach.
And I think we're seeing how much fatigue plays a part. The distance Vix is behind now. Clearly the Estonian absolutely destroyed, but Sol Chamberlain, well, he's the one who's lasted to the very end there.
Yeah, what a great athlete he is.
Drives up onto the beach. Gentle run to the buzzer. This will be sweet. He will savor it as he hits that buzzer and confirms his slot as European under-19 beach sprint champion.
And let's hear it from Marcus Vix of Estonia. What a great 2 days of racing he has had. Working hard, the legs are hurting, but he claims that silver medal. So silver to Estonia, gold to Great Britain.
Muted celebrations from Chamberlain Hyde, I'd say there, when he crossed the line.
Yes, very muted, I would say. I'm sure he's happy inside. So, of course, we'll be showing all the victory ceremonies later on after all the racing has been done. So gold going to Great Britain, silver to Estonia, and bronze to Czechia.
So it's the women's under-19 solo singles now. And just to remind you, we're going back to quarterfinals. So 8 of these women are competing for a place in the semi-final. And Maria Lanciano posted a very quick time, 2:51, to win that last 16 race. So she was the quickest athlete on the water yesterday afternoon, and she's up against Lou Philippe of France. Philippe's time 2:58, not as quick as Lanciano. So boat handlers putting the boats in. See, that's the French, oh, that's the Italian boat kind of going into the water. Blades will be difficult to spot because you've both got the tricolore, the red, white and green, and the red, white and blue for France.
Heartbeat is on. Final few moments before the start of the race. So big red lights will come into view for the athletes. They will turn to green, and then it's all about that reaction time and getting off the blocks as quick as you can.
Yeah, both scullers reacted equally to that buzzer. And it's the Italian going closest to the boats. But the French athlete now has probably got a stroke in before the Italian. But look at the power that Lanciano is putting in, the Italian athlete there. So strong to the back end.
Incredibly strong. Yeah, she's going to use the advantage of the wind now on the back end here. It's giving her that bit of a push. They're going to have to work hard around this first finger marker here, pulling hard on that left-hand side now because the gusts are pushing them off their course. But lovely navigation here by Italy and France.
Well, you know, the French athlete has got to work so hard with that left hand to get round that centre buoy. Those gusts are absolutely lethal to the course. And Luciano, advantage to her, but it's so close. Long strokes from the French athlete. I really like the way that Lou Philippe is sculling there.
Really, yes, really long, but she's a very tall athlete, sinks so upright at her finish there, whereas we're seeing a much stronger, more powerful back end there from Italy. We know Italy are going to turn well here. What can France do?
Oh, they've messed the turn up, and that Philippe, really, she's gone far too far around the buoy, and the Italian has basically won herself the race on that turn.
Yeah, the bow just was not turning there for France. It was slow to move. Lovely navigation there, though, by both athletes coming out of it. Italy definitely have the straighter line compared to France.
Well, she was the quickest athlete on the water in yesterday's last 16. And Maria Lanciano has got a huge advantage over her French opponent. It was close before the turn. But you just wonder what the coaches are saying, or if the athletes kind of understand. They've got to start the turn before they get to the buoy because of this offshore wind.
Yeah, they really need to be digging in that right side and pulling hard with the left. Let's see if their legs are as fresh or as tired as the under-19 men's solo athletes. France going very wide now. Take yourself well off course.
Yeah, coming into the bank on the right-hand side, it is the under-19 sculler. There we see her, Maria Lanciano, tiring now. You can see her physically tiring as she comes in to the bank. She's put so much effort in there in that gusting conditions, those headwind conditions back to the beach. And it's a little job for her wisely conserving energy.
Yes, absolutely. She's going to be racing again. All going well pretty shortly again, so conserving any little bit of energy is important. So that is Italy booking her spot into the semi-final. France eliminated.
Well, again, we see where you can get a massive advantage here. The start clearly getting into the boat. The rowing, obviously important. 2:56, not as quick as she was yesterday. The Italian, that won't bother her at all. But that turn is proving to be crucial at the top, isn't it? Absolutely crucial. And the faster athletes on the turn are almost always going to be the faster athletes when they hit the buzzer at the finish.
Yeah, they really need to get that dig and that back in early. That's the key to executing those nice tight turns, nice fast turns, and then just being very powerful on that left side. So next up, we're on to our next quarter final of the day.
Yeah, Magdalena Vlastenikova, the 16-year-old. It's not Maria Vlastenikova, actually. It is the British sculler who is racing, so Isabel Sonkina, and she is racing the Austrian sculler, Marlene Kür.
Oh, there was a change earlier, there was a withdrawal.
Yeah, that's right. So Marlene Kür has been put in to this race as the fastest of the racers from the last 16. Second chance for the Austrian. What will she do with it? She set off at a furious pace down to her boat. The British sculler hops in just slightly ahead, but it's the Austrian. Wow, advantage to the woman who has been given a second chance here.
Yes, indeed, she had a great start there, and just a little wobble for Great Britain there, just a little bit of an uneven push. So one blade was in the water, one was in the air, so just slightly uneven. She went up onto her side, so she does have a little bit of work to do to get herself back into this race here. But Austria flying, they're doing really well up against this wind now. They knew they had to kind of correct themselves there after that first marker.
Yeah, and I was saying it was the Austrian who's been given a second chance. It is, of course, Isabel Soinka of Great Britain who has been given the second chance. My apologies for that. She's been put in after the withdrawal of Magdalena Vlastenikova. So Great Britain here coming back on the Austrian sculler with the second chance. The sculler on the far side of the course. Little despairing look from Vlastenikova. It's tailwind conditions here, but the British sculler making the most of her second chance. How will she turn?
Yeah, let's see if she can match what Sol did in the last race there. Looks like she's staying a little bit closer, a little bit slower getting the bow around, but she definitely has a tighter line compared to Austria. Oh, she's put herself right back into this. A bit slower to get going. Austria just a little bit faster. But let's see who fares well up against this big wind.
Well, this is the endurance, isn't it? You've got sideways gust, wind from the northeast, coming over their left shoulder, pushing them towards the right of the screen. Advantage Austria at the moment.
But Austria seems to be going well off course now, going very wide on at the way home. Definitely better line for Great Britain right now. As they turn now, the sun is going to be somewhat glaring off the water for them. Oh, definitely better line for Great Britain here.
So it is the sculler from Austria, Marlene Kür, who has to work on her navigation in the last part of this course. Kür just with the advantage, and the sculler with the second chance from Great Britain. Isabel Soyinka just going to hit that last finger buoy. She's within touching distance of the finish.
It just slowed her up there a little bit too much. Give you a little bit of an extra advantage here to Austria, who's going to land on that beach ahead of her.
She's done so well, the Austrian, hasn't she? Really beautiful run in. She corrected that navigation, as you suggested. And Malin Kjær jumps out of the boat. Advantage to her from the British sculler Soyinka. She looks across, checks that she's in the lead. And with a smile on her face, moves into the last four, the semi-finals, chance to race for a medal. And Isabel Soyinka, well, she was close up, but it was that turn that made all the difference, wasn't it?
Absolutely, yes. It is making a difference in every single race that we're seeing today. Again, they need to be putting on the brakes a bit earlier than what a lot of the athletes are doing, because they are being pushed away from the course with the big gusts, which are only getting stronger as the day goes on. So moving on to quarterfinal 3 of the Coastal Under-19 Women's Solo, and this is the turn of individual neutral athlete versus Switzerland.
So the neutral athlete posted a time of 2:52, Alexandra Grigorieva, in the last 16 rounds, and Anouk Luti posted a time of 2:57, as we hear the heartbeat, which is just ramping up the tension for the crowd, for us commentators, and maybe for the athletes. Boats going into the water. Starter just checking to see the boat handlers. 3 boat handlers now in these gusty conditions rather than 2, as we saw yesterday.
Last few seconds now before the start of this quarterfinal. Who will be in the races for the medals a little later on? Here we go, get ready. They're crouching down. Off we go, Switzerland, individual neutral athletes. We know Switzerland are quick on the sand, but it looks like Grigorieva of individual neutral athlete a little bit faster.
Yeah, both athletes pretty much off. Nice push off from the Swiss. I think better than the neutral athletes, who've had to correct her steering. Advantage Luti, there she is. Anouk Luti on the left of your picture from Switzerland with the slower time, but expect Grigorieva, Alexandra Grigorieva, there you see her. Those long strokes. We've talked about that, haven't we, so often here, but you can really see it writ large there. So long out the front and so well connected with the blades, and it's pulling her back against the Swiss.
Absolutely, yeah. It's suiting the conditions here as they have the wind with them on the way out here. Good navigation here, not going too wide around those middle markers. Both of these flat water rowers, they raced this year at the European Under-19s for Luti of Switzerland in the quad, and Grigorieva was at the European Under-23s in the double. So yeah, lots of flat water experience, but the coastal waters aren't, that's suiting them well. Perhaps not on the turns,
both turns have been very slow for both athletes. Grigorieva now having to come right back to the buoy. You can see she went so far past it. And Luti perhaps made a fraction up on the turn, but Grigorieva should be advantage to the neutral athlete with those long strokes if she can maintain the pace in this offshore wind blowing on their backs now as they head for the beach.
Yeah, she has to be mindful of her course as well, because she was heading right over towards the Swiss lane. So she's right in the center now of the course. Switzerland now starting to overcorrect. She's starting to move into the center of the course now as well. So both athletes now in between the finger posts here as they come at the moment. Better line to Grigorieva of individual neutral athlete. She has a quick enough beach run as well.
Yeah, so Alexandra there, you can see her back, just hitting that finger buoy. Disrupted her, but it's not going to disrupt her too much. Good endurance too, good form, good technique. She can look across if she wants to the Swiss sculler, but you can see her head is focused in boat, looking round for her boat handlers now, as the neutral athlete's shell hits the beach.
Yeah, here she comes. Staying nice and light on the feet here now. So it is Alexandra Grigorieva, individual neutral athlete. She's booking her place into the semi-finals. She is happy, hands are in the air. Anouk Luti missing out.
Embrace from the two athletes. So Alessandra will have a chance to race for a medal. She's going to be in the semi and should make either the A or the B final. 2:51 is 1 second quicker than she posted in the last 16.
And I think about 4 seconds quicker than Italy earlier on in the quarterfinals.
Great shout.
So that was quite a good time. Now wind is helping as well. They're getting an extra little bit of a push as the gusts pick up. But we move on to the final quarterfinal of the day of this category, Coastal Under 19 Women's Solo.
Spain against Germany. Alejandro Garcia Dominguez posted a 2:53 in the last 16. And Mia Tatiwa from Germany, she posted a 2:54. Just a second difference between these two women in the round of 16. This is the quarterfinal. The last 8, a place in the medal races in the semi-final at stake here.
Boats in the water, boat handlers getting into position. The judges just making sure that they're lined up perfectly with the markers. Here we go. A long heartbeat.
Attention.
Garcia Dominguez blasts off. She was just moving her finger just to take the tension out of the start. She gets to the boat first, the push off, little awkward first stroke. And T were much smoother in terms of the first stroke. Garcia Dominguez just needs to calm down a little bit. She's top gas at the moment, but she's making a few mistakes.
Yeah, starting to panic a little bit, and the blade work is getting a little bit messy. This is not a place where you want to do that. She's really, oh, is there a problem with this heat? She just, her strokes really shortened up there. Not sure if that was done on purpose or not. Can Germany, Tetua, get back into this race now?
Tetua over on the far side, Garcia Dominguez, she has got into her rhythm. Now the mistakes far behind her, and she's going for the turning buoy with a 1-length lead. So how close will she turn to that buoy at the top of the course? How close will Tatiwa get? I think Tatiwa turned really well yesterday, long strokes. Look for the buoy. There it is coming up. Turn now, put your blade in. She's gone a little bit past it. Tatiwa too. Not such a great turn from the German, but you can see, look how quickly the Spanish girl gets her boat round.
Yeah, maybe coming out a little bit too wide, though. She'll have to pull hard on the left-hand side now to get the bow angled correctly to the beach. Both of them actually heading down off their course a little bit now, so they're going to have to work hard. They're up against the wind here now as well. You can see the angles here of the bows completely different. Germany coming right over into the towards the Spanish lane. She's starting to correct here now.
Yeah, with that left arm really pushing her towards that right beat sprint position. She wants to have the least distance to sprint. Tatiwa's come right back into this after the turn. So is the Spaniard tiring there, do you think?
Potentially, yeah. She's keeping her rate up, and she's keeping her strokes very short. The blade isn't staying in the water very long, and she's up against those heavy gusts here now. So this is a very kind of maybe inefficient, tiring way to row this race.
Tatiwa is just missing that ball. No, she's going to hit it. Advantage to Spain there. That could be significant. And Alejandra Garcia Dominguez will hit the beach first. She's absolutely kept herself together. Where did that lead come from? She's really stretched out. Tatiwa must have absolutely lost it since she hit that last finger boy.
Yeah, Spain increased the big lie back there on those last few strokes, and here she comes. She's tired for sure, but she's going to make sure. Oh, Germany coming, but she's tired as well. You can see the legs aren't going the fastest that maybe they could, but it is Spain booking their spot into the semis. Germany going to miss out.
I'm not sure that Alejandra Garcia Dominguez was totally pleased with her performance in that race. She kind of walked off. She didn't wait for her opponent, and it was kind of like, you know, she made a few mistakes there, and there was no celebration that she was in the semi-final.
I think with the back-to-back racing, it's literally like, let's just get off, let's get into the shade, let's get recovered as much as we can, because the semi-finals are coming up very shortly. We can see the athletes starting to come into the athlete area behind us here. 2 semi-finals to go, then we'll be into the B final and then the A final. So in semi-final 1, in a few moments, we're going to have Italy versus Austria, and then it will be individual neutral athlete versus Spain in semi-final 2.
Maria Lanciano just putting her water down right next to us in the commentary position. Body's fairly clear of sand now. And she's digging a hole, as those sprinters used to do. In the old days when there was a cinder track, they had a little trowel to dig a hole, but the Italian athlete using her feet. And her Austrian opponents that we saw better, the British sculler, Marlene Keur, 17 years of age, up against the 18-year-old Italian. Maria Lanciano is walking over to her coach and to the judges, asking them a question. I don't know what that is.
So just maybe confirming lanes. Of course, the fastest athlete always gets to choose the lane, but I think the lanes have been set already because the blades are in the boats. Boat handlers are on the different sides. She's keep yourself warm anyway, for sure. Light on her feet. Jogging around.
Jogging up and down. We are moments away from the first semi-final in the women's solo under-19 beach sprints for the European Championships. The gold medal race at stake here. One of these athletes will have a chance to go for gold or silver. Who will it be? Maria Lanciano crouches down. Shouts of "Hey Maria" from the crowd.
Attention.
Both athletes react to the buzzer quickly. Who will reach the boat first?
It is Austria just hitting the water slightly ahead, but we know Italy have a super fast entry. Yes, Italy going here now. Take your time to take her first stroke, but Austria off to a flyer of a start as well.
Yeah, what a great jump into the boat from Austria, but those powerful strokes from Italy. Short strokes as well. We did say she's going to have to think about her technique as she comes back into the headwinds. Maybe those short strokes need to be lengthened when she comes around the turning buoy, but Italy have the advantage.
Yeah, they're heading down now to the midpoint of the outward leg. Italy keeping that rein up. Similar style of rowing to the Spanish that we just saw as well. So let's see if she can actually keep that up, because she is working hard here, but she is staying ahead here. Lovely navigation, lovely course here. They're going to have to work hard on the left-hand side now to get back into the right position for that turning marker.
Yeah, Marlene there from Austria just having to go quite wide with those gusts of the wind round the middle buoy as they come up to the turn at the top.
Yeah, we know Italy can turn well. She's going to start backing early. She's hitting that marker. Here she goes, digging that right hand or pulling hard with the left, staying nice and close. This is a beautiful turn here from Italy.
Oh, sensational turn from the Italian. Absolutely nailed it, Lanciano. And the Austrian drifted past the buoy. and total advantage to the Italian. She has complete control of this race, barring mistakes. It will be Italy in the final if her endurance holds.
That's exactly it. She needs to keep something in her legs to get her up the beach as well. We saw it earlier with Spain and the under-19 men's solo, how the legs can just go so easily. But this is great navigating here from Italy. Austria just going to be hitting that middle marker now. Oh, she just missed it.
Yeah. Beautiful race from the Italian, sensational turn at the top. She began it really 2 or 3 strokes before she got to that yellow buoy. The wind just took a level with it. It was so beautiful to watch. Technique fantastic from the Italian, and she's kind of eased off now. She's aware that she's going to be in the A final. And she's coming to the beach, conserving a bit of energy, I think.
Yeah, she changed her style of rowing massively there, just slowing down the rate slightly and focusing on a big, strong lie back. You can see the lie back that she's doing, working with the wind as opposed to against it here. So here she comes. We know she has a lovely exit as well. Nice little hop out it over the rigger. And here she comes. She looks over. She knows she has time. So she's going to take her time now as she comes up the beach to book her spot in the A final of the under-19 women's solo.
Yeah, she doesn't want to sprint because she knows she's going to have to do it. Just a little tap of the buzzer with the foot. And Kür there from Austria had a great regatta. She will contest the race for the bronze medal in the B final, which will be the next race. I think that we'll see.
We have the second semi-final first.
Oh, we got the second semi-final. Getting ahead of myself there. More semi-final fun.
Yes, this time it is going to be
Grigorieva
athlete versus Spain. There we have a time, 3 minutes. So racing getting certainly slower.
Yeah, we don't need to worry about that time. So Alexandra Grigorieva has certainly been the fastest athlete, I would say, on the water with those long, long strokes. Aha. So
While I know the start list only mentioned Spain there, we do have the athlete from individual neutral athlete lining up.
no sign of the Spanish athlete at the moment. Here she comes. Well, good to see 2 athletes, Alejandra Garcia Dominguez. Lovely to see that little connection between Grigorieva and Garcia Dominguez at the start. All about the long wind here. Alexandra, tall, focused, 15 years of age, slender. In the face of Alejandra Garcia Dominguez, those plaits down on her back, they'll be streaming behind her on the sprint. Breathing quite hard, I think.
Yeah, I was noticing that the chest and the shoulders are rising very fast. I know it's kind of back-to-back racing. They didn't have much of a recovery time, but she's getting herself again into the kind of a good state. You don't want to be completely relaxed. You want the heart rate to be slightly elevated here.
So she's certainly more powerful in terms of those quads.
Very different styles of rowing, though. The long, slow versus the short, fast strokes of Spain. Boats are in the water. Boat handlers lining them up here. Heartbeat is going. They're looking for a spot in to final A.
The finger just twitches from Garcia Dominguez there, just to take the tension away. She will get into the boat first. We've seen that before. Grigorieva does have those long strokes. Spain off first.
Yeah, 2 strokes there pulled by Spain before Grigorova got going. But let's see what the long strokes do for her as they go out here with the wind. They have a lovely push from the gusts. Good navigation here by both of them. Spain staying nice and wide away, but she's going to have to work hard now on the left to get to the other side of the course here.
I just wonder about the endurance of the Spanish athlete there. You know, we saw Garcia Dominguez breathing hard. If that's an issue, it's going to tell on the final turn into the headwind. Grigoriova just moving nicely out of that buoy.
Yeah, with her long strokes really catching up now.
Well, if she's got the turn sorted, you know, then that's going to be advantage to the neutral athlete. She's already going in front. And again, if she turns early, like the Italian, it's going to be a super race for the neutral athlete here. Let's see how she handles the turn. Waiting a little late, she will go past the buoy. And so will the Spanish athlete. Both athletes have got to race back a little bit, you can see, maybe about 5 or 10 meters. Grigorieva is straight, and the Spanish athlete started off too early, I'd say there.
Yeah, she's working hard. You can see on the left side now again to correct herself and get herself nice and straight. Very even now. So again, very different styles of rowing. Spain now keeping that rate up, but focusing on that big coastal lie back that we've been seeing over the last few days. She's staying in touching distance. Grigorova coming over into the middle of the course now. Again, both of them, in fact, going very wide.
You can see how close it is. The neutral athlete just with that half a length, maybe 1 length lead. Those long, long strokes. That not quite as efficient at the front end as she was before. But Dominguez really blasting for the beach there.
Yeah, well off course though. She's having to come back on herself now.
She's lost it. We wondered about her endurance. And the pressure just too much for Dominguez. She's given it up to race in the bronze medal race. And the neutral athlete, those long strokes have conquered. We saw that tough breathing on the start. She wasn't recovered enough. And it's the neutral athlete who will drive onto the beach and take a place in the A final.
Yeah, I wonder at what point of the race do they make that decision to just ease off and go for the final B, because you never know what's going to happen to the other athlete. But hey, that's not a worry for individual neutral athlete Grigorova, who books her spot into final A. She is happy. She will be meeting Italy shortly. Spain now with an extra bit of a run to do. She'll take her time now, knowing that she has a spot. She saw what happened with her fellow Spanish rower a little earlier on in the under-19 men's solo. His legs were gone. I'm wondering, are her legs gone as well, or just conserving all the energy she can?
Yeah, for the race.
Barely moving here. She might as well be walking here. Looks like she's in a little bit of pain.
It does, doesn't it? Touches the buzzer, doesn't look happy. Little shrug from Grigorievich there.
So yeah, to confirm final A, we're gonna have Italy versus individual neutral athlete Grigorova, and in final B it will be Austria versus Spain. So just a few minutes break now, just to give the athletes a little chance to recover before Austria and Spain get going for the bronze medal.
So again, apologies if you are having issues with our live stream. Again, we are working on it. And we hope that for this afternoon's racing, things will be absolutely sweet and you'll be able to enjoy uninterrupted coverage of the 2025 European Beach Sprints. Neve and I will be commentating throughout this morning's finals, and if by chance you do miss anything, this racing will be uploaded to YouTube and you will be able to catch it there this afternoon. Don't you worry about it. All the action will be captured for you here.
So just giving the athletes a little bit of a chance to recover here before they get going for the bronze medal, Austria versus Spain. So myself and Martin are just going to take a little break for a couple of minutes and we'll be back to bring you all the action shortly.
What do you think about energy right now? How are you entertaining people? Okay, so DJ, please stop the music. I'm going to ask you one question. You are in Austria right now. I'm going to say to you, before 3 weeks ago it was here 46 degrees. And here is normal time, very, very warm. Today is not too warm. But Antalya is party city. I want to ask you, you want to dance one more time all together? If you want to dance, put your hands up. Who wants to dance? Who wants to dance? This side doesn't want. I think this side doesn't want to enjoy. This side, you want to dance together? Okay, in that case, everybody put your hands up. Everybody. Stand up. Everybody stand up. Stand up, please. Stand up, please. This side also. I want to see it. Guys, you are a young person and you have to stand up right now. Dance all together. Yolsa. Girls, sizler de kalkın kızlar. Türkiye, hadi bakalım. Hadi. Başlıyor muyuz? O zaman hadi bakalım, selam diyelim. One dance all together. Put your hands up. Put your.
Kameralar çeksin diye yapıyorlar.
So we're back with you, the Coastal Under-19 Women's Solo. It is the turn of Final B. This is the medal race for the bronze medal. And we have Austria versus Spain.
Yeah. Molinkur, probably advantage to her given that Alejandra Garcia Ordonez of Spain did find the going pretty tough in the middle of that last semi-final race.
Legs looking much fresher this time on the sprint down for Spain, but I think advantage here to...
Yeah, I think she needs to be conservative, the Spanish athlete, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
I think she just needs to keep maybe 95, 96% on this outward run and just make sure she's going to get home when she turns into the wind.
I'm not sure if she has settled yet, maybe a little bit more reserved this time round. She certainly has advantage on the water, but maybe a little bit off course. She's going to have to work very, very hard now with the left side to stay on course.
Yeah, and that will slow her down actually and give an advantage to the Austrian, to Marina Keur, who is just gaining back on the Spanish as we head towards the turn buoy.
Yeah, we know the Spanish have generally good turns, but this gust of wind is really pushing every athlete off. Spain definitely the stroke rate here and the short strokes are suiting here, but once again, will she sustain it on the way home? It's hard to say, but here we go. She's flying into the turn, could have backed a little earlier.
Yeah, not the greatest turn for the Spanish. The Austrian going to get round. If she can get round quickly, this race is wide open as they head for the beach. The Spanish athlete has gone off early. You can see her course there. She felt the pressure of the Austrian, and now, well, what's going to happen here?
Spain are going to have to work hard here to overcorrect. We do not want to have a collision out there on the water. Spain coming right over into Austria's lane, having to overcorrect herself now, and again working hard with that left side once again. Let's see if Austria can move now.
And this is where it was absolutely important for Garcia Dominguez to conserve that energy on the outward run. So she's got it now. She heads towards the halfway point, that finger marker back to the beach. She's still pushing those finishes, but Kerr looks across, and she must sense blood as they come to the last marker. It could be Kerr that takes this race on the sprint.
Yeah, she definitely has a better line now. Spain going totally off course, way outside the course now after coming over to the opposite side. So better line here for Kerr of Austria. She'll have a straight run into the flag. Spain still being pushed a little bit by the wind, totally off course.
That bronze medal is within Kerr's hands. The Austrian athlete, she can taste success there. Marlene Kerr coming onto the beach. Spain, the finishes are much weaker. Kerr jumps out first. She is sprinting for the beach. She's not looking for the Spanish athlete. Full gas for Marina Kerr. Comes up to the buzzer and a bronze medal. And the Spanish athlete again jogs up. She was absolutely exhausted. I'll tell you what's new to me on beach sprints as we see Alejandra Garcia Dominguez. Just the endurance aspect is phenomenal.
It is incredible, yeah. Like, you can do well on a 500-meter row, no problem, but it's to do them back, you know, back to back over and over again within such a short space of time. You know, you have to be building this into your training program if you want to do well, because the Spanish athletes are absolutely exhausted after all those races.
Well, here's the final that we can see getting ready in front of us. You can see the athletes' boats there going to be placed in the water. The tricolore blades for Italy, Maria Lanciano and Alessandra Glorieva, 15. She crosses herself, the neutral athlete. Previous victories all forgotten. Focus now on this gold medal race. Grigorieva has been the quickest on the water. The high rating of the Italian, will that endurance again be a question as we head back for the beach? All to play for.
Italy doing their trademark touch of the sand here on the start line. Getting ready to go.
Yeah, and Lanciano just brushing the sand off her palms because she wants a clean grip on the blades. Grigorieva looks quicker to the boat than she has been on previous runs here, and the Italian is gone off and she is not taking any chances. No conservative start there. Lanciano has blasted out of the gate.
It's her last race of the day of the championship. She is going to give it everything here. Can she sustain it? What a quick start. Perfectly executed there, not hitting that finger marker. She certainly has a lead. Look at the difference in technique between the two rowers.
Yeah, Grigorieva, that will really come into play, I think, on the homeward run. But Lanciano, she may be quick now, but again, it's going to depend on the turn. It's going to depend on the endurance that the Italian has got into the wind.
Excellent execution there of the course again by the Italian, just staying that oar-length distance away from that middle marker. So as she starts to approach her turn now, big look over the right shoulder now. We know she has a good turn in her. Can she do it again today?
She's turning already. Grigorieva is still in contact, the 15-year-old against the 18-year-old. Great turn from the Italian there. Grigorieva goes past a little bit, and it's advantage to Italy on the turn. What's her endurance like into the wind?
Yeah, here we're going to see now if she still has something in her legs. She's changed her style slightly. Big lie back here now, shorter at the catch, further at the finish here. Can she sustain this?
That's a great spot, that style difference for the headwind rowing. Grigorieva with those long strokes. She is only 15 and her endurance can't be as strong as the Italian, can it?
Let's see, she's definitely going a little off course compared to the Italian, who has perfectly executed her navigation here. She has the gold medal in her sights. Can she sustain this?
Yeah, it does look like the Italian's keeping a form. She's looking round, just checking her navigation. To me, that signals that she's still there. She's still got beans left in her body.
Absolutely, she's staying low here. She's slightly crouched over, focusing on that strong back end, keeping the bow moving through the gusts here. This is perfect navigation here. She's going to have a great exit point.
Yeah, the Italian moving beautifully as we get that shot of her coming into the beach. What a fantastic row from her. Italy, Lanciano hits the beach just a moment until she is crowned European champion, European under-19 champion and gold medalist. Lanciano comes up to the finish line there, hands in the air for Maria. Yeah, she's won it, that gold medal. And hands in the air for the photographers. Grigorieva, sensational regatta from the neutral athlete. Thumbs up. Points to her name, Lanciano. She's got all the tricks, hasn't she?
Oh, she has all the tricks. We can see the social media there of Italy following her. She knows exactly what to do here. What a race. Amazing there by Italy. Gold medal in the Coastal Under-19 Women's Solo. Silver going to individual neutral athlete, Alexandra Grigorieva.
So that was absolutely amazing. The endurance there as she hugs the coach, Maria Lanciano. And that's what it means to be an under-19 European champion. Maybe the Olympics don't seem so far away now in Los Angeles 2028. She will go into the senior Italian beach sprint team next year. And Lanciano exits stage left.
So just a few media interviews happening. We have bronze place Austria here as we round out the under-19 women's solo. Next up, it's going to be moving on to the quarterfinals of the men's solo. So 4 quarterfinals naturally, then 2 semifinals, straight into final B and final A. So all those athletes now gearing themselves up for a lot of action over the next 40 minutes or so.
And for the moment, we're going to take a little break in the commentary. So it's goodbye from me, Martin Cross, and from Neve Hayes.
Right, thank you so much. We will take a
Starting. Do we need to give an intro?
Give it a look, yeah.
And